All right, there you have it. Moby and Southside. Playing a little Moby this morning to start the show because we got Moby coming in a little later today, promoting his book, Porcelain, which is getting rave reviews.
Yeah, I'm looking over the prep sheet. It looks really good.
Yeah, he's an interesting cat. Let's call him an interesting cat. He's been a vegan since he was 22 years old. He's now 50-something. No meat, no dairy in something like 28, 29 years.
That's tough to be a vegan and be on the road with him touring and stuff to really find.
That's almost impossible.
Especially when you first start your career out, when you're just playing these shit towns. As you get bigger, you could just say, this is what I want in my dressing room or food. But
yeah, when you get a little money behind you, you can find that shit. But if you're kind of struggling and just starting to make it, I don't know how you eat healthy and or turn into a vegan.
No, you're at this,
or a vegetarian for that matter.
You're at a Holiday Inn right off the highway. There's a Subway or a fucking Dunkin' Donuts for your choices if you have no car.
Yeah, sir, I see you got chicken in your chili. Can I have lentil chili, please?
We're in a donut or any of that stuff. If you find out there's dairy or something in one of the weird ingredients, there's always some fucking animal. Well, there's an animal fat in the box that it ships in. Oh, shit. There's always something.
Look, God bless the vegans. I mean, they believe in that stuff almost like a religion, but I've cut way the hell down, but I can't imagine being an actual vegan. That's rough. That's rough. I'm down to not really eating red meat right now. I've had one piece in 5 months.
Right.
Me too, but other things.
And no dairy. I blew off dairy. And I feel way better. I think humans aren't supposed to digest dairy.
What dairy were you having?
I loved cheese, big cheese guy, yogurts every morning, milk in my coffee, ice cream. I mean, I cheat here and there, but nothing too crazy. Just a little, a little dip here and there, a little bit. But for the most part, I'm drinking like almond milk and coconut milk in my coffee, and I'm eating some of the ice cream alternatives they're all right.
Yeah, there's just no way to get it right.
They're all right,
tolerable,
but I feel way better. It's weird.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, when you knock down that dairy. But I can't imagine going all in and being a complete vegan. That's crazy.
Geezer Butler's a vegan, and I think he said he got really, really sick when he ate meat. Years ago, they were doing something, there was no food, so he ate hot dogs.
Yeah.
There was just nothing to eat.
Yeah.
And he got really sick. Some guys just, their body won't have it. I think for him, he said it was just because it makes him sick when he eats it.
Well, also, I mean, if you blow it off for a while, then when you do taste it, it just doesn't taste quite right after that.
Yeah, hot dogs are the best way to eat meat under any circumstances.
Oh, hot dogs rule. I'll still eat a little chicken and a little fish, but I haven't eaten red meat. I'm good.
You don't like a good filet?
I mean, I'll have a filet again. I'm not going to be crazy with this, but I decided just to, not get it. Was stupid. It was stupid. Russell Simmons in his book, The Happy Vegan, and boy, is that book not happy.
No,
talks about how animals are slaughtered and this and that. He didn't hold back whatsoever, and I was sort of affected by it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the animals are spoiled. I don't like. I hate grass-fed. I won't go near grass-fed. Only the caged ones.
Yeah.
Grass-fed ones are spoiled.
Yeah. They have too much room to move around.
They sure do.
Oh, the cage thing. He even explains that.
Living a life of Riley.
It's all bullshit. They're just not in cages, but they're still in those chicken houses, just overpopulated, still shitting on each other.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
No, I'm not. I'm not going to be one of these guys that preaches this shit. If you want a nice, piece of steak, God bless you. I just know, right now I'm not eating any of that stuff, and I feel pretty good. So
yeah, no, that's great.
But I'll still eat fucking chicken. I'll still have eggs, that type of thing.
I like meat. I don't like. I
love meat.
I wish I didn't.
Yeah,
because it causes. It's the cancer loves meat, but I just can't help.
Cancer loves meat.
I want a hot dog.
Sugar.
I'm craving hot dogs, like a Gray's papaya. I haven't had one in years.
Gray's papaya is excellent.
Yeah, I know. A nice burned hot dog.
Yeah,
How fucking good are they?
You have to have a burnt hot dog, right? They have to be burnt.
Yeah, on the grill. Yeah, definitely coming off the grill. Or Nathan's hot dogs are really good. You ever have Nathan's?
I want to go for hot dogs with E-Rock.
Oh, boy, he would know where to go.
I know he would. Where should we go?
Where would you go for a hot dog?
A nice Coke and a hot dog. A dog and 2 Cokes.
Well,
wait, 2 dogs and a Coke.
Nathan's around the corner.
Why would I get 2 Cokes and 1 hot dog? It's too much beverage.
1 Coke, 2
That's
straws.
too much beverage.
There's a Nathan's around the corner.
Yeah.
Or there's, I think the closest papaya that I know about is on 42nd, though.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, they're shutting down a lot of the papayas.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh.
There's only 1 or 2 left. There's one in your old neighborhood. My neighborhood, your old neighborhood.
That's right.
Well, there's plenty
on
of
72nd and Broadway. No, it's one of the original
Gray's
places.
papayas?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the last ones left in New York City.
There's one on 6th Avenue, too, I think, down in the Village.
Oh, okay.
Still no one down.
Everyone's panicking because they think they're going to just shut this one down on 72nd Street as well. So
There's always people in there.
no, I know.
Unless the rents are fucking through the roof and they can't make it on 50-cent hot dogs anymore.
Well, that would be the thing, I would assume. So
I used to like the soubrette hot dogs. Those crunchy ones.
with a little sauerkraut.
Little, not so much sauerkraut, but the string
Well,
hanging off the end there. Nice and crunchy.
Why wouldn't you put sauerkraut on your hot dog? You don't believe in it?
I don't like sauerkraut.
No. Sauerkraut and a hot dog, that's like a perfect combination.
Sauerkraut's it's a creepy food.
Sauerkraut is?
Yeah, I'll eat it sometimes, but I don't know what it is.
It's got a weird smell to it.
wet.
I don't-
It's cabbage.
It's
Is
all
that what that is?
Sloppy.
All it is. It's
I
cabbage.
don't know
It's
if I
just-
object to it. It's wet. Fucking wet.
Isn't it just like pickled cabbage, more or less?
Yeah, because then the roll gets all wet when you throw that
yes,
shit
and
on.
that tastes good too. Get everything all nice and soggy.
No.
That's why I don't
Little
like
mustard.
That's why I don't like spinach because it's wet. I don't like a fucking wet.
You don't like wet food?
I don't mind it, but like soup. I don't like a wet
you like
vegetable.
but you like a sloppy pussy.
That's the irony of me. I like nice tight food and a fucking disastrous vagina.
That's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, there's no consistency. But I don't like a wet, weird food. It just creeps me out.
You got to get a dog from the trucks. I know you don't trust them, but
No, some of them are good.
those are the hot dog from a hot dog truck here in Manhattan is pretty damn good.
I always think of Greg Rogel had a funny line. He's talking about that how brave it is to eat meat out of a hot dog thing, and he did some line and where the guys couldn't take care of them. He's like, "Yeah, I keep it at home in my closet," and I always laugh so hard at that. Like, it always stuck with me. Like they don't take care of this food. There's no way it could be kept in a good place.
Oh,
It's
God,
fine in
no.
the closet, but
And they're not putting fresh hot dogs out there every day.
No,
If there's 9 left in that water, they're not going to put some new ones. They're going to get rid of those 9 the first thing the next day.
Well, when I used to drive back to Long Island, you would see those hot dog carts going over the 59th Street Bridge, going back to their home base. And the hot dogs are still in that now lukewarm water.
yeah, bouncing.
Just bouncing around in there. The donuts, you see them just flopping around. You know they're not replacing those before they come back to Manhattan the next day.
How do they keep roaches and ants off them? Like they freak me out too because how do you keep them fucking? Because again, they don't throw them out,
Yeah.
or do they?
I don't know. I would assume some people are doing the right thing and throwing out some of the donuts, and other people are like, you know what? I think I could get another day out of these.
Absolutely.
You got to think they're saying that, right?
Yeah, I know I would. I mean, it's not nice, but throw your fucking money down the toilet.
So, Moby, vegan, that's hardcore. Vegetarian, not so much. Vegetarian is what? Just no meat and dairy, I think.
No, you can have dairy. Don Jameson's
what's
a
vegan?
vegetarian. He'll eat pizza and cheese.
I mean, what's vegetarian? Sorry.
No meat.
That's it.
That's it.
That's easy.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I am. But a vegan, that's when it gets crazy. You can't even use butter, right?
Well, no, nothing with an animal. Like literally, some of them don't even eat honey, but it's animal labor. But then some of them are like, well, yeah, but animals don't mind doing that. That's kind of what they do, so it's okay.
They won't even eat honey?
A lot of them won't. Yeah, it's animal labor.
Oh, that's stupid.
It's a little silly. I guess they want higher wages. I don't know what they're looking for. I know I enjoy honey.
They want to raise the minimal wage for the honeybees.
Yeah, I don't quite get it, but whatever. They're doing God's work, as we say. They're stronger than I am. Anyone willing to sacrifice all the delicious products out there?
Yeah.
There's a lot of good shit that they don't eat.
Absolutely.
They're a little annoying sometimes. I have to tell you, but the fact that they give up all those products. I mean, I like animals, but I just don't like them enough to do that. So I kind of admire the stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to like a wedding or a big dinner or something like that, and you just order vegetables, basically, that's hardcore.
Like they're missing out
of
on
course.
really good shit. You're not eating cake. You're not eating any fish. Nothing.
I don't know. I mean, when you learn about the slaughterhouse is a little rough, but I'm not doing it because of because animals in general. I just For now, at this stage of my life, I just feel better not eating the meat and the dairy for now. But I'll dip back in. I know I will.
Yeah,
but
it's summertime when you get that grill fired up.
I'll dip back in, but I won't go hardcore again. Because I found some good substitutes. Although the coconut ice cream is a little rough. Coconut milk ice cream is a little rough. Yeah, that's a little rough.
Vegan ice cream, however they make it. One of the best ice creams I ever had was at Pure Food and Wine. It closed, unfortunately. It was a vegan place. It's one of the best dinners I ever had.
Really? Yeah, I ate there before.
Oh, my fucking God, was that place awesome. Whatever, I don't know what they do in like cashew or vegan ice cream. It's phenomenal. Their desserts are great. It's probably very sugary, but fuck are those good.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta find out what that's all about.
Yeah, they're really tasty.
Also, Moby hasn't drank in a while. What else are we learning about him? There was one thing in this. Oh, yeah, in the book he says that during this time of his career, he and his Bible-loving girlfriend would pray for forgiveness after having sex. They would have sex and then they would pray for forgiveness.
Yeah. That's good. Religion doesn't fuck people up, though. That's good.
That's pretty hardcore.
That's good.
He considers himself Christian, but has been reluctant in the past to define himself as one because of its ambiguity. Sorry.
I always thought he was gay. I always thought Moby was gay. Obviously, I'm completely wrong. Yeah, I'm totally...
You sure that he wasn't gay? He wasn't praying because he
maybe
he came inside of her. And they started praying.
Maybe he dips.
He's got other like insane sex stories like dominatrixes.
Yeah. But I must be wrong. Like there was nothing he ever did that made me think that. It wasn't like I saw him doing something or heard him.
Were you hoping?
No, I wouldn't. I just thought that for some reason, and I don't know why.
I would guess he dipped. He's a dipper.
Yeah, I'm just wrong.
He's dipped a few times. That's just my guess.
I like that.
You think he's dipped?
He may have, yeah. I mean, it doesn't make you gay.
Yeah.
I think he might have dipped a couple times.
It's saying one of his girlfriends was a former high-priced prostitute who worked for Heidi Fleiss.
Yeah, I know. I was reading that. It's interesting. I wonder if she was still working when he was dating her.
Right. And then he dipped into some dominatrix stuff, too. So Moby coming in, promoting his book, Porcelain. I didn't have time to read this book because I was reading Doug Stanhope's book. Doug Stanhope finally wrote a book. And it is damn good, yes. Talking about Mother. He calls his mom Mother, who's no longer with us. Yeah. He told the story famously on our show, how he helped his mom commit suicide at the end of her life. She was suffering from emphysema, and he got the call that it was time, and he wheeled her over to his house, set up a hospital bed, and they sort of just partied, and then it was time for her to take her morphine pills, and he figured out how to do it in a way where nobody would question him in the end. She did it herself, and she just happened to do it herself in his house, and he was making White Russians and turned it into a big celebration.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to do it. She was in a lot of pain, I guess. That's a shitty way to go out.
Yeah, and then he passed out because he couldn't keep up with Mother, and when he woke up, she was dead, and there were people in the house, and they thought it was Bingo that was dead, Stanhope's girlfriend, because she was passed out on a couch, and then someone had to be told, no, it's not Bingo. The dead lady's in the other room.
Did they break up or no?
I heard they did.
They did, yeah, but I think they're back together.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I think they figured out the relationship, but wow, Stanhope has had a life, man. Yeah. No real home from an early age, and just on a whim, just moving to all sorts of places, including Idaho. He decided on a whim to just move there.
What do you mean he had no home?
I mean, his parents broke up early, and his dad certainly had a house there in Worcester that he kept coming back to, but his mom was a pretty wild lady that was always moving around herself, and he was always doing his own thing. Moved out to L.A., then he moved to Vegas, moved to Idaho for a little while, then moved back to Vegas, then moved back to Worcester a couple of different times, then moved down to Florida to live with his mom for a little bit. All very short-term moves.
I hung with his mother in Vail. We did the Vail Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
That's how I got to know his mom. I saw her occasionally over the years. She was definitely wild.
You mentioned in the book there, Jim Norton.
Yeah. Doug tweeted me. It's just from when he went to Vail. But I think that was one of the only times I met her. I think there was another couple of times. I just don't remember where.
Right. But I started the book, and I'm like, all right, let me get a few pages in just so I could familiarize myself with this book a little bit. And then I got hooked. I mean, the book starts with him talking about his mom's, suicide in his house at the end of her life, and I'm like, how do you put this thing down if that's how it starts?
Yeah.
So really good book. his mom used to jerk off cats.
Really?
And jerked off the dog. And basically, she thought, the dog doesn't mind. The cats don't mind. They're pretty happy when, I did this. A little strange.
When she was an adult or when she was younger?
Oh, yeah, when she was an adult. What do you think?
And he witnessed it, or she would just tell him?
Oh, yeah, Doug witnessed it. And then she would brag that she would do it. She would tell people, I jerk off the cats.
Just to make them feel good?
Yeah. What do you think?
That's nice of her.
It's a little strange. I mean, the authorities probably would have a problem with that, but in the end, are you really hurting your cat?
No, they're probably the talk of the cat town. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you got a shook under the chin, they're like, no thanks. It's nothing compared to what I get at home.
Yeah, go hang out at that house. You got to see what's going on. All the stray cats are outside our house, waiting to get in.
And the back's trying to get hand jobs. I respect that.
I mean, I don't know if you should be promoting jerking off animals, but in the end, I mean, he breaks it down. He's like, is it really hurting the animal if you really think about it?
Not even a little. I don't think it hurts the animal a little to take its penis and manipulate it.
I mean, if you're trying to shove your hog into a cat's ass, then okay, that's a problem. That's animal cruelty.
Yeah.
But how is it animal cruelty to actually jerk off a cat or a dog?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't promote it. I wouldn't tell anyone else to do it, but
would you watch somebody if someone was going to do it?
Oh yeah, of course.
Because
why wouldn't you watch?
We were at a party one time, and this girl had this dog, and we were trying to convince her friend to jerk off the dog. We raised $37.
$37.
Yeah, $37. Me and a couple other comics, and the girl was ready to do it, and her friend just freaked out and started screaming at her. How could you do that? It didn't go down. I was calling the woman that owned the dog, you fucking baby, just let her do it. Quit your crying.
What kind of dog was it?
It was like a German Shepherd.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We got $37.
Is this bad to talk about?
No.
It's in his book.
Good stuff.
It's in his book. He'll talk about it tomorrow when he's here.
I'm sure he will.
Hope. And of course, Doug lives in Arizona now, but moved around a lot. He kept going back to Worcester and would hang with his dad a little bit here and there, but his dad was very different than his mom. His mom was very into the whole comedy thing, and the father probably not so much. His father's personality was a little different.
Is he alive?
Dead. And there's a picture in the book. Is there a copy of the Doug Stanhope book of Doug kissing his dad like moments after he died in his brother's place? His dad died at his brother's home, and he shows that picture when someone shows him baby pictures to show you how it ends.
He does.
Yes, that was his thing for many years. If you walked up to Doug and said, "Hey man, here's a picture of my newborn," he goes, "Well, let me show you how this story ends." And then he shows the picture of him kissing his dead dad. I guess they posed with the body right after his dad died and took all sorts of pictures. So, just he has lived a life already, man. Let me show you the picture in the book. This is a great read. I mean, I guess we just got to get the word out that Doug wrote a book, but this thing is fucking good, man. He's a very good writer.
Did he write about the whole Johnny Depp was a fan? He stayed at his house for like a week.
Yes.
Yeah, it's insane.
Oh, he stayed at Depp's house?
Yeah.
Here's the
Johnny Depp writes the forward to this book.
You see?
I see him.
On the left side,
Yep.
bottom picture, it says, Dad, minutes after he died, show me a baby picture. I'll show you this picture so you know how the movie ends. Wow. Yeah, good for Doug Stanhope. Yeah, Johnny Depp out of nowhere wanted to get... somebody called Doug and said a big star wants to talk to you, and it ended up being Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is a huge fan of Doug Stanhope.
Yeah, his forward is really nice,
really good. And then Doug flew out to London to hang out with Johnny Depp, and they became instant friends. He's hung with him 3 or 4 times, and basically Johnny Depp's like, look, anytime you want to hang out, just call me. But Doug doesn't feel like doing that. Like, he feels like, he
doesn't want to bug him.
He doesn't want to bug him and stuff. But, I mean, Johnny Depp is a legit fan and friend of Doug Stanhope, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but that's probably he still likes Doug, is because Doug is not doing that. Like, Doug called him once in a while, but most people he would say that to would probably call him constantly. So that's the smart move.
Right, to the point where the guy's no longer a fan.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's in the book, so I know the story where he went out to Johnny. I think he stayed at Johnny Depp's house a couple times. Then he said it'd be more comfortable if me and Bingo stay in a hotel. So he put him up in the hotel. So I'll pay for the hotel. And after like a week or 10 days, he went to check out, and they charged Doug's bill like $12,000. It didn't go on Johnny's credit card, so he had to call his assistant to tell him, "Hey man, are you going to take care of the room?" He felt like a dick. He's like, "Oh man, how do I make this call?" Like, "Hey man,
Yeah, but 12,000 is a lot
something
of
like that.
money.
Whatever the money was, it was a lot."
Yeah, if it's a thou or whatever, you're like, I got to eat that.
But he's like, "How do I text Johnny? Go, hey Johnny, this wasn't on your credit card." Yeah,
Oh,
that shit.
no.
Yeah,
Did he do it?
yeah. I don't know if he got in touch with Johnny or his assistant and said, "Hey, look, you know,
Right.
somehow to charge one on my card, can you throw it on Johnny's instead?"
Yeah.
But that's a weird call to make.
Right.
Yes.
And then Doug got married at like 20 years old, 19 years old.
I don't know that one.
No, I didn't either.
And it seemed like it was sort of a goof. He was in Vegas and went to one of those chapels, and it was a legit marriage. And then she eventually just fucking went away, went back to her ex-boyfriend or something. But he talks about that casually in the book, and I don't know how that ended. I mean, I know they're not together anymore, but I mean, is he officially still married to this woman?
Maybe.
I mean, it's like 25 some odd years ago this happened. But all of a sudden, you know, they were together here and there, and then eventually they just drifted apart, and she ended up with her ex. And but it doesn't say in the book that he ever got divorced from this woman. I got to ask him about that tomorrow.
He probably, I mean, the girl probably got remarried, so she had to make it official at some point.
Right. Well, the book is called Digging Up Mother, a love story, Doug Stanhope, forwarded by Johnny Depp. It's a very, very good read. I literally got just a couple pages left in the book. I went through it in 2 days. And that's with having kids. So that's how good that damn book is.
Yeah.
Because I actually read this one. I can't read a book these days because I'm too busy, you know, trying to raise a family as well. So I like listening to my books I was going to say these days again. But Doug doesn't have it on Audible yet. He's got to read his own book. How great would that be?
Yeah, I think he should. I think he probably would too.
Yeah,
When is he doing any signings?
I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. I mean, he's in tomorrow, and I would assume the signings are maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, right? So that was great. That was a great read. And then I watched the 30 for 30 on Cleveland's sports teams. That is a hell of a fucking story, man. They haven't won a championship in 50 years. Since Jim Brown, I think 1964.
And that wasn't even a Super Bowl yet.
No, it was before the leagues got together.
Yeah.
Well,
So
they do have a champion now, though. Stipe Miocic. They have a UFC heavyweight champion, and the first thing he yelled was, "You got a champion, Cleveland."
Oh, wow. No kidding.
Yep, that happened. It was a shocking win on Saturday night.
Did you watch?
I did.
How was Cyborg?
Brutal.
Was she good?
Yes.
She won her fight, right?
Oh, did she? Yeah.
Fuck. I said I was going to rent that, and I just didn't want to stay up late.
Yeah, he's a Cleveland guy, and we're right outside of Cleveland.
Right.
And, he's a big fucking country white dude. He's a fucking horrifying white guy.
Yeah.
You think he's foreign because of his name, but it's just his parents are immigrants, I think.
Yeah.
And he was fucking backing up on a Verdum was coming in, and he punches so hard, this guy, and he just collapsed like a building. And so you got a champion, Cleveland. It's funny to talk about that.
That is so weird. That's a great connection to the 30 for 30 that happened over. Would they look at that as a legit championship for that city?
Well, no, because it's a guy from the city, and it was won in Brazil. But it's still like he's a champion from Cleveland. No,
that's definitely a championship for Cleveland. But they're focusing on the three main sports teams.
Yeah.
You know, they're Browns, they're Cavaliers,
and the Indians.
And the Indians. And all three of those teams had legitimate shots over the years and just fell fucking short.
Yeah.
John Elway fucked them over with that 98-yard drive back in the day. What year was that? I think 86? Somewhere around there?
Yeah.
1986, they were on their way to the Super Bowl, and then John Elway marches down that field 98 yards, and that was it. They didn't go to the Super Bowl. And then the next year...
I think with no timeouts, too, if I'm not mistaken.
No timeouts? And
it might be, yeah.
I think there was only 5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
And he was starting on the 2-yard line.
I remember that.
And then the next year was the fumble, right?
Ernest Biner fumbled at like the 1-yard line.
And that meant they weren't going to the Super Bowl that year. So they had two shots at it, two really good shots at the Super Bowl.
They were a good team. Bernie Kosar, quarterback.
Right. And Bernie wanted to go to the Browns back in the day.
Yeah.
And they were very excited. And then you had the Indians. They lost Game 7 of the World Series
to the
back
Marlins.
in 90. I want to say
97. That's when they beat the Yankees in 97.
They beat the Yankees, moved on to the World Series, and lost in Game 7.
And they had a stacked team that in the Indians.
They had
Albert
a great
Bell
team.
and Tomei and
Oh, I hated that big dumb lefty, fucking Jim Thome.
Yeah.
Oh, and he clubbed the stupid Yankees.
I know.
When Jim Thome hit a home run, there's very few things I mean, as a Yankee fan, you hated it.
Yeah.
There's guys like him and Mo Vaughn, these big fucking lefties, man. When they hit a home run, it's just ugly.
Right.
Especially in the old Yankee Stadium, right in that right field.
That short porch. Oof.
And then, the Cavaliers, LeBron James has a good shot at a championship this year, although I think it's going to be tough to get past Steph Curry and the Warriors, but we'll see. I think it comes down to those two teams again this year, right? It's getting close already. There's only a few teams left, so.
Yeah, I mean, but, last year, LeBron was basically the whole team.
By himself.
And they won 6 games.
Right.
So you never know.
They got a much healthier team this year, so that will be interesting. But they got a legitimate shot at a championship this year.
Did they show the burning of LeBron's jerseys? Because that was my comic friend Chad Zumock. Who
They sure did show that.
Yeah, that
when
was
LeBron
him.
left. That was such a dick move how he did it.
I know.
He had every right to leave, of course. But the way he did it, knowing how important he was to that city, holy fuck, man. That was brutal.
Yeah, he was having problems with the owner then. The owner was being a dick to him, and he felt slighted. And he just said, look, I want to go win a championship, but we're not ready to, and hopefully I'll come back, which he did.
Yeah,
he said, let me go.
did.
I'm going to go recruit a couple of my friends. We'll go down to Miami, win a couple championships, which he did. And he goes, and then I'll come back.
Right.
He always kept his house in the Cleveland area. That's where he's from and stuff. And then, he went back. So it was a good, they all forgive him there now.
Right.
The team's good. They're like, all right, that was just we broke up. We had a little breakup for like a couple of years, and we're back together.
Yeah, the 30 for 30 was great because when Art Modell moved the team out, then Cleveland has to watch him hoisting a Super Bowl down there in Baltimore.
Yeah,
that fucking hurt. Same thing with LeBron James. He leaves and he's hoisting the championship trophy above his head down there in Miami.
Because the Cleveland Brown fans are super loyal. That stadium was sold out all the time, but Art Modell wanted a new stadium because they gave the Indians one. The town's like, the city's like, we can't afford it right now. Your stadium's packed. He goes, I need more skyboxes.
Yeah.
And they go, we can't build you one. And he just fucking took off.
Right. And they hated him for it, but they explained his side pretty well in this 30 for 30.
No, there's no side. He was wrong. He should have sold the team. He bought the team for like $5 million and just sell it for fucking $300, and somebody else would have kept it in the city. He was a fucking scumbag.
He was in that town for many years too, 30 some odd years, right? As the owner.
Yeah.
He started in the 60s. And he felt like the city itself wasn't taking care of him, and Baltimore was waiting.
Yeah, it wasn't like there was 20,000 people showing up those games. Everyone was sold out. There was not a ticket to be had.
So you're a fuck Art Modell guy?
Absolutely.
But they weren't really. They weren't without a team for too long.
5 years.
Was it 5 years it took?
5 years. They had no team.
But I know
and they've sucked ever since. Ever since they've
5 years.
5 years.
Couldn't he have kept the name Browns, but he let them keep it? Like, was he not a dick about that? Like, he knew that was.
He wanted a fresh start in Baltimore to call it the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, okay.
They kept all the Cleveland Brown records, so you couldn't bring them over there and stuff. But still, it was a sleazy move.
And the Browns, were named after the coach, so it'd be tough to take that name.
What coach?
The legendary coach in Cleveland.
Who was it? I don't even know.
Paul.
Was it Paul Brown? Yeah, look that up. No. Yeah, they're one of the only franchises named after a coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah, the Sacramento Garys never made it.
Oh, I didn't know it was 5 years because I know 5 months later the NFL basically told Cleveland we're bringing a team here. But I didn't know it was 5 seasons.
Well, that's what the NFL does in all the cities. They just hijack them and say, if you don't give us a new team, we're going to build it. If you don't give us a new stadium, we're out of here.
Right.
And then they wind up building a new stadium. That's what San Diego's going to do. And now they got a gun to San Diego's head. The Chargers.
Yeah.
That we're going to. You don't give us a new stadium, we're moving to L.A.
Right.
L.A.'s not going to be able to support two teams. There's no fucking way.
They're the worst for fucking football teams.
They are. And the Rams are a sucky team. And they're going to suck for a while, and it's going to wear off real quick. People going to those NFL games. The only people are going to go are the Steeler fans that live in the L.A. area, the Dolphin fans, the Cowboy fans. The Cowboys play the Rams in L.A.
Why won't they embrace football out there?
I don't know. A lot of people don't. there are a lot of people actually are natives, but there's a lot of people that aren't that move from wherever, and they're not just all of a sudden going to be a fan of that team. There's so much shit going on, traffic. I don't know. They just don't know.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of people move out there. It's like Florida. There's a lot of
implants.
Yeah, and Vegas. A lot of people that didn't grow up there that want to moving there. I think that's why it's harder to get loyalty. Like you look at San Francisco, the fucking 49ers. I mean, they got loyal fans.
Oh yeah, they do.
The Giants.
That's where everyone's from.
Baseball. Yeah.
Let me say hi to Brian in Florida. Go ahead, Brian.
Morning, guys. How are you?
All right.
Hello.
Yeah, named after Paul Brown, first head coach.
Oh, yeah, the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, named after Paul Brown.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah, it was a really, really, really great documentary. I'm originally from Cleveland, and having a bunch of losing teams just really sucks.
Well, what sucks is getting so close a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, if LeBron doesn't win today, this year, I mean, they have a really, really good shot. Since Toronto got eliminated, we have a good shot at winning. So hopefully he'll bring it.
Toronto didn't get eliminated.
I mean, Toronto eliminated Miami is what I mean.
Yeah, but Miami wasn't going to win the championship. They're a weaker team.
No.
They were hot, though. They were on a roll going
I understand
into the
that,
playoffs.
but, I mean, they went to Game 7. And Toronto's not going to win it either.
What's happening in basketball? I was in a Modell's the other day.
Yeah.
And all the guys were around watching a game. How far into the season are they?
Oh, we're way in. Was it yesterday? It was
yesterday, yeah.
It was Game 7. It was
For the Knicks?
No, God, no. The Heat and the Raptors.
Oh.
Miami Heat and the Toronto Raptors.
Who won?
Yeah, he got blown out.
Toronto
won.
he just said. Okay.
So it's Toronto, Cleveland, and Golden State, and
Oklahoma. Thank you. Yes, we're down to 4 teams.
The Oklahoma. What are they called? The Oklahoma. What's the
Thunder?
Oh,
Thunder.
yeah. Terrible name.
Thunder.
you don't like that name?
No, I don't.
No.
No, the Oklahoma Thunder. Ooh. Stop.
I think it's obviously going to be Cleveland and the Warriors again.
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying.
It's pretty obvious, though. Come on.
Well, yeah, you got to go Steph Curry versus LeBron James.
Right.
But,
Little rematch from last year. That'll be a great series to watch.
Who do you got in hockey, though?
You know what? I tapped out after the Islanders got eliminated. I have not watched 1 minute of hockey since the Islanders got knocked out. Some fan I am. Who do you got?
I think Tampa might pull it out.
All right.
I mean, I don't like Tampa that much. I mean, I was a Florida Panther fan, so I got pissed off when you guys. You and DeStefano get to go to a game against the Panthers?
I did not go to a playoff game this year. No, I did not. What? If you're from Cleveland, you like some weird sports teams, sir.
Well, we didn't have any. We had the closest thing we had was the Detroit Red Wings when I was growing up because Cleveland didn't have a hockey team.
Right.
The Columbus Blue Jackets came after I left Cleveland, so.
Right.
But I mean, I was a huge Red Wings fan. Sergei Fedorov was like my idol, but.
All right. Very nice. Let me, I got to go to a fuck Art Modell call. Thank you, sir.
Oh,
all right.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Let's say hi to Sean in Ohio. Sean.
Yeah, hey, fuck Art Modell, man. He came out and hey, the Browns lose. I don't know what they win 3 games this year, but I'm still a Browns fan till I die. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to be 90 years old waiting for him to win a Super Bowl.
All I'm saying is during the 30 for 30, they softened that a little bit and try to show Art Modell's side a little better.
And back on
little
hockey
better.
teams, I'm a Browns fan, hate the fucking Steelers, and I want anybody to win that Stanley Cup but those fucking Pittsburgh Penguins. Fuck them. I hate any Pittsburgh team because I'm from Cleveland.
All right. Thank you,
So,
sir.
and a lot of people, like back in '08,
Yeah.
if we'd have won, we went to Game 7 against, I can't remember what team, the Yankees, and they beat us. And had we had won that game, we would have went on and played the Colorado Rockies, and we probably would have won a World Series. So we get close every time.
You can't go with that probably shit.
Well, that's all we got. We're from Cleveland. What the fuck? So, and I'm not
The
a
famous
basketball fan.
wait for next year over and over again.
There is something fun about rooting against teams too. Like if your team's out of it, like I never root for the team that beats my team.
Right.
Ever. People like, well, if that team goes on, then at least you lost to the champion. The team that beats my team, I don't want them to make it to the next game. I literally want them to be killed in a plane crash.
Damn.
I hate them.
Yeah, you don't want that.
That's hardcore.
And I'm not a basketball fan, but I kind of want the Cavs to win. I mean, LeBron, and that's the thing. People talked a lot of shit about LeBron when he went down to Miami, but he never forgot where he was from. You know,
there's two sides to every story, sir.
You tell him, Jimmy.
That's right. I say that all the time.
Tell me all about it.
I think he deserved the hate he got just because of the way he announced where he was going.
Yeah, but he was a younger guy. I mean, he's definitely like when he lost that first championship in Miami, and he acted like a little bitch down there, and he wouldn't shake the other guy's hand.
Right.
That made me more mad than when he left Cleveland. I mean, but I think he's matured a lot more. The guy's worth $500 million. Who gives a fuck? He can do whatever he wants.
I agree with you. I mean, obviously a lot of you guys have forgiven him, and it's a great sports story that he came back to Cleveland, and if he could pull it off and win the championship over the Golden State Warriors this year, that'll be amazing.
You know that he only signs 1 year contracts, LeBron, just to make sure, like, to keep the team in check. Like, you better fucking improve this team.
Pretty smart.
So he does it year to year. So he could actually leave if he wanted to after this year. He probably won't, but he just does those 1 year contracts.
All depends how well they do in the finals.
Well, he'll definitely be back. They got a solid team. So
they really do have a solid team. They got to keep everyone there, though.
The worst for Cleveland was when, like, I don't know, 2009, 10 or whatever, when the Indians had Cliff Lee and CeCe Sabathia, two friggin' aces. They got rid of both of them within 6 months. And the next year, they started the World Series. Cliff Lee for the Phillies and Sabathia for the Yankees. And all the Indian fans like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
We had those guys.
We couldn't afford them. We had to let them go. And now they're pitching game one of the World Series.
Is that frustrating?
Yeah.
That is frustrating. Let me say hi to Rich in New York. Go ahead, Rich.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. I know you got the sports expert in there, Jim Norton.
Yes, sir.
Did anybody happen to catch that punch that was thrown to Joey Batista last night?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was a great punch.
Who didn't see that?
I did not see it.
You didn't see this yet? No. Oh, play it for Jimmy.
It's a UFC punch.
I know. I heard it was slid in the second, right? He slid in the second? I didn't see it. I read about it.
How many games do you get for landing a punch like that?
That's got to be at least 5.
Yeah, Travis was saying about 7.
Think?
This morning, somewhere around
5
there.
or 7. I mean, it's not going to be more than
Why don't we split the difference? 6.
But this punch connected.
Compromise.
But you know what happened with this was last year in the playoffs. Remember when he threw his bat after the home run? He whipped his bat.
Yeah.
That was against the Rangers.
Hold on. Pause this. Go ahead, Florentine.
So it was a playoff game last year where he threw the bat. It was a big thing. Like, he just when he hit.
Who threw it, Jim?
Batista.
Okay.
Against the Rangers in the playoffs. It took Toronto to the next level, whatever. So the Rangers were pissed from last year. So then this was a game where they were going to get back at him.
So what just happened? Batista slid into second?
Yeah, they just hit him with a pitch right in the ribs. Batista. He got the first, and it was a ground ball short, and he was trying to break up the play, and he just took out the second baseman.
Odor. Odor stinks.
Yeah, he's pronounced. He took him out pretty hard, and then they popped up, and then this happened. You haven't seen this yet? This is
great. Can we see the whole play?
God.
No, I have not watched it.
They only have the punch?
The other video, if you're looking on the Deadspin link, the other video below it has the play, and this is the punch.
Yeah, I want to see the play with the punch in it. I want to see how it unfolded.
Go play first, and then a bench-clearing brawl. Go to Deadspin if you haven't seen this yet.
In the pitch, and Smoke hits a ground ball left side. Beltre picks to his left, throws to second for one, Rugi to first, and Batista goes after him, and Rugi pushes Batista, and they're in a fight at second base.
So you see how he slid into him to break up the double play?
Punches at Batista, and the dugouts have emptied.
But isn't it supposed to be like that?
This is a real Donnybrook.
No, you're not going to see the punch in this video.
This is not just players standing around.
They'll come back and show it.
What are they doing?
There's a big flesh pile out in short right field.
Looks nice, all the red and blue jerseys. Looks like they're celebrating.
It's very American.
There's a bit of a
very patriotic.
Things have, for the most part, calmed down now. Adrien Beltre has a hold of Jose Bautista.
No, it's pretty ugly in the middle there. We can't see it, but everybody's out there on the field, and the punches are still being thrown.
Nothing better than a bench-clearing brawl, right?
Batista on a hard slide at second base.
Oh, yeah, they haven't had one
trying to break up a double
like this
play.
in a while.
Odor shoving Batista in the chest, then the two of them coming together and punches being thrown. The dugout's emptied, the bullpen's emptied. And at that point, very tough for us to see who the actual participants were and who were playing the role of peacemaker.
Well, I'll tell you this. Bautista went in with a hard slide and no intention of holding the bag.
Oh, there's got to be a double play. There's no doubt about that.
He went straight past the bag, well past the bag, and Rugi didn't even think about throwing to first base. Rugi turned to face Bautista, and then punches started flying.
But you're supposed to slide into the guy when he's throwing, or was it uncalled for?
There's a rule now.
There's a new rule. Last year, remember the Mets shortstop broke his leg? When Chase Utley went into him, so now there's a new rule this year. You can't really knock out the second baseman. He went for him. You'll see the play.
Wait a minute, and again, I'm not a second baseman, but haven't they been doing this for 100 years?
You got to make it look like you're actually sliding into the base.
Okay.
I mean, in this case,
it was a late slide.
Yeah, in this case, he was like fucked.
Like, there's no reason to slide there.
Yeah,
because he's already out.
Yeah,
he's out there.
Wait, okay.
See, that's where you're supposed to start to slide, where this is pause, but he starts his slide basically on top of the base. Watch. See, so
that's intentional to take him out to break up the double play, which I don't have a problem with, but you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, because there's no way you're going to be able to hold on to second base sliding that late.
It just started this year, the new rule, because the guy broke his leg last year.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not a player, but I look at that and I'm like, that seems like one play I've watched 1,000 times.
Yeah, and
sure. Yeah. But they've gotten more and more aggressive with that play over the years.
Broken.
Yeah, I guess the players are a lot stronger than they ever
Show
were.
the punch. So they missed the punch in the TV feed and had to go to another camera. And then you get to see this.
Why punch him?
Damn!
Punch his glasses off.
Oh, fuck yeah. Then hit him on the top of the head with the mitt.
And his helmet.
And then the guy just grabs him. Then the guy grabs him and holds Batista. That sucks.
He removed his hat.
That's some pretty solid contact right
That was
there.
a great punch.
That was a great punch. And then poor Batista didn't even get to hit him back.
Yeah. We'll tweet it out on our Twitter account.
It's got to be a double play. That's what they're trying to eliminate.
And then the guy grabs fucking Batista, and he doesn't even get to throw a return punch.
Sliding past the bag.
He punched him so hard.
They'll probably make the rule if you leave the dugout, you'll be suspended. Kind of like they do in hockey.
Yeah, and this happened in the next inning.
To avoid...
Oh, he hit the player. No, it's Cecil Fielder's son?
Yeah, it's Prince.
Yeah, it's Prince.
Prince Fielder? Oh, the players are coming out. They want to congratulate the pitcher on a good throw.
That was the first pitch of the next inning.
Yeah, that's probably on purpose.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than this, though.
The worst is, though, probably if you don't mean to do that and you're just nervous and you hit the guy.
It's just a dumb baseball game in May. You need something like this to keep it going.
Absolutely.
It's too early. People are loving this shit.
How do you tell the guy I didn't mean to hit you? Because they always just walk off the mound with no eye contact. Because I'm sure sometimes they don't mean to do it.
And they tell him. Prince had the least amount of issue with that. He was just smiling. He knew it was going to happen.
Did he really?
Yeah. He knew it would happen. And Prince Fielder getting hit in the shin, it's nothing.
But Batista got hit in the ribs. That hurts.
Yeah.
You know,
that's just a little retaliation.
I got hit in the thigh.
That giant thigh. That didn't even hurt.
He's just smiling.
Prince just smiling.
Of course he's smiling. He knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, wow. He's a right
above his right knee and his thigh. He's just laughing.
He's built just like.
And the pitcher walks the opposite way.
Well, he's out. He knows he's out. Both benches had already been warned. So you hit a player, you're out automatically.
But he had no choice. He had to do that.
Yeah.
He had to retaliate. That's just good baseball.
If you're going to hit the guy, he did it in the best way possible. It looked like a curveball that he hit him in the thigh with. Like he went. He didn't headhunt.
Oh God! If he headhunted, then there would be another brawl.
Was that a curveball? Can you watch that again? Because I'm always good at seeing what kind of pitch it is, especially when the guy says that's what kind of pitch it was.
That's what you're known for.
Yes.
Prince is laughing.
No, that was a fastball.
Okay.
That was a fastball right to the thigh.
All right.
Thank you, Rich.
He threw it right his leg.
No problem. Punch down, guys.
All right.
Well, the most famous one was when, Clemens hit Piazza in the head.
Of course.
And when right at his head, because Piazza used to kill him when he got up. Like, he was, 8 for 12 against him.
It's safe to say
didn't like that shit.
Clemens was a dick.
Oh, Piazza was pissed.
He was kind of a dick out there at times.
Jim, is that your favorite
Mr. Clemens.
Is that your favorite?
I love Piazza, but I like Clemens too because he's such a dick.
Because mine's always going to be Nolan Ryan and Ventura.
Wow! Yeah.
Why would he hit Jesse Ventura? Why did he do that's a different sport?
Well, Pete Rose going into Bud Harrelson too.
That's a great one.
That's a good one too. But that's like old kind of grainy footage. But Nolan Ryan was great when he put him in a headlock. Ventura and just started beating. He was 45 years old. And beating the shit out of him.
I watched that forever.
Yeah,
you like it?
Oh my god! Because Ventura's coming to the mound and Nolan Ryan is so fucking ready. Like he's just ready to get him into a headlock.
A 45-year-old man.
He's the best.
Puts him in a headlock and just starts beating the shit out of him.
Just gives him a whole bunch of rights.
Like, look how ready Nolan Ryan was for
RBI
this.
single in the first. Watch out.
Right in the small of the back.
And here he comes.
He runs right into a headlock. He runs right into a headlock.
It was like a wrestling move, WWE.
Wow.
Oh, Ryan was great.
And then there's that famous picture of him just like standing there with his bloody jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best.
It's wonderful. Let me go back to Cleveland. We're getting a few things wrong, I guess. Dan, go ahead.
Love you, Ope. Love the show. Happy birthday, Yimmy. One thing Florentine got wrong, you guys.
Hello, Dan.
Appreciate that, you dick.
What's up, Dan?
Florentine said the Browns were gone for 5 years. They were only gone for 3. The last season was 95. And there's actually some good YouTube videos. The last home game, they knew the stadium was coming down, so the fans were tearing off seats and throwing them around, and they came back in 99. The other thing, it's
I didn't think
great.
it was 5 years, but I didn't even think it was 3, so...
Yeah, the other great thing that they didn't show on Believe Land was in, 74, in order to get more fans, the Indians had, it was either nickel beer night or dime beer night.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Oh, we've talked about this in the past, but go ahead. Explain it for the people.
Yeah, the fans got so freaking loaded. They were, lighting fireworks off in the stadium and ended up throwing shit on the field and ended up, jumping onto the field. They had to call. It's one of the only baseball games that had to be called before it was over because the fans jumped on the field and were beating the crap out. I think Billy Martin was the Rangers coach or a player, and it was. If you Google it,
we did about 20 minutes on this back. I don't know, a couple years ago.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember all the details now, but yeah, it was nickel beer nickel beer, and then they couldn't keep. They couldn't keep order, and they finally had to just fucking give up on the game.
Oh, fat Don Zimmer getting knocked over by Pedro.
Oh, remember that?
Well, he just kind of mushed him out of the way. He didn't punch him.
No.
What's he supposed
He's like
to
a
do?
90-year-old man.
Yeah, but he was running at him.
But he got a lot of shit for that, but I didn't have a problem with that one.
Yeah, that was more of a judo, like a fucking judo move. Like he was running toward him. He just kind of took his head and moved him.
He pushed his energy.
Aikido, it felt like.
Yeah, he pushed his energy to the side, so then Zimmerman fell
but he didn't punch him.
No.
Let me see, Zimmerman was running right at him, right?
Right at him.
He was, and he just shoot him away.
That bald head was heading right toward Pedro Martinez's dick.
Yeah, what did he want him to do? A little fat Don Zimmer rolling.
I know. That was a great
And they
one.
all ran out. He knocked old Don Zimmer over, did he?
What year was that?
2003.
2003? That's 13 years ago already? Yeah, see.
What's he supposed to do? The guy's running at him.
He just grabbed his bald head and just kind of pushed him to the right. So
and then the Zim fell down, and he was.
Yes. Dan, thank you, buddy.
And then even Pedro's teammates were attending to Zimmer.
Yeah.
They're like, he's ancient.
Yeah. Let's make sure you didn't kill him.
And then Zimmer's like, I'm fine. He's a baseball dude. Wait, didn't he used to manage the Red Sox?
Zimmerman?
Yeah, what did he do before that?
He was a manager. I'm not sure if it was the Red Sox.
What team was it?
I don't.
I'm probably
It might
wrong.
have been the Cubs. I don't know.
I don't remember.
No, Zimmerman didn't manage anyone. Mr. Zimmerman! What did Don Zimmer do?
I don't
For some reason, I'm thinking he managed the Red Sox. I'm probably wrong.
Let's see.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did. 76 to 80.
Oh, good job. 76 to 80.
Okay, I always remember that. That's probably why all right.
He had a pretty decent record up there in Boston.
He managed the Cubs, too?
Why did he manage the Cubbies?
88 to 91.
He managed the Cubbies.
The Padres back in the day, and also a little bit with the Rangers.
Speaking of, the Cubs are I think they're 30-8. They haven't won a World Series since, 1906 or 11?
9 now.
9 now.
They're
It's
insane,
almost the best start in baseball history.
Wow.
They're on. This is the year they could win that World
When Don
Series.
Zimmer managed the Cubbies?
Yeah, then anything happens in those World Series. You know what I mean? You have a bad day, and next thing you know, you don't have the World Series.
7 games, though.
True.
That team is stacked.
We'll see what happens. So tired of baseball players acting like babies. What are you talking about, Dan? Dan, what are you talking about?
What's up, guys?
Hey, man.
Hello, Dan.
Yeah, seriously, I mean, these guys are like fucking children, man. They're like, oh, he flipped the bat last time, so I'm going to be mad at him, and then I'm going to hit him in the face. But come on, you got kids watching these games, man. What kind of example do you set for kids?
Dan, you can't.
When I'm coaching, I coach kids.
Yeah.
And then they get these attitudes at that age. It's bullshit. You don't need it, man. Just play the game.
Man,
you know?
I got a son. Florentine's got a son. I don't care if he sees this stuff. I really don't.
Well, I do, because then you start acting like these idiots.
Well,
it's fucking money.
Yeah.
To act like fucking children, man. And what do you just fucking play the game.
Well, it is kind of a child's game when you think about it. Like, it's not a mature living. It's not like they're up there doing scientific things.
When I go to a hockey game and there's a fight, every kid stands on their seat and can't get enough of it.
Well, yeah, that's unfortunate, man, because then you get this mentality that, it's okay to just fucking punch a guy or sucker punch a kid. Then when somebody really gets hurt, and maybe, whatever.
See,
why did you do that? It's like,
well, then you explain it to your kid why, and teach him that even you teach him that is pretty awesome to watch, but you shouldn't behave that way.
Well, unfortunately, they get conditioned that way because
I know you just got to be a better parent, or at least try to.
It's not easy, man, and most of these guys can't even fight anyway. You see that when the way they throw punches, but anyway.
I love bench clearing brawls in sports.
It's these dumb.
Can't get enough of that shit.
Absolutely. In baseball, I know what he's talking. It's these dumb unwritten rules. If you do this, or you slide this way, you hit this guy with a bat, then the next pitcher's got to hit this guy, and that's all. Yeah, Bryce Harper's trying to tell him, look, let's just fucking have fun and relax, and these stupid unwritten rules. Let's just do our thing. But the shit's been going on for a long time. It's not going to stop. You just tell your kid, just when you curse around your kid, don't do it at school, but fucking do it at home.
Oh, you do that too?
Absolutely.
We do that all the time. Not on purpose, but if a curse flies, I'm like, it's all right. Because my kids will look at me like, you just said a bad word. It's like he's like telling on me. But you're in a different spot, Dan, because you're actually out there coaching and stuff. So
yeah, I mean, there is a time and place. You got to defend yourself. I understand that, but for the reasons that these guys act like they do, I'm going to hit you back because you hit me. Come on, man, just play the game. I mean.
Well, it's when you get a competition, mano on mano.
Jimmy. Good old Jimmy.
All right, Dan.
Florentine. All right.
Thank you. I think the best sports punch ever was it Rudy Tomjanovich took it on the chin.
I think LaMotta at home.
Look up Rudy. This punch almost fucking killed him.
Oh, was that when he was running?
Kermit Washington. Thank you. Kermit Washington punches Rudy Tomjanovich. I don't think there was a better sports punch ever than this. 1977.
26 games suspension.
Have you ever seen this?
I don't think so.
Oh, God. This is like the worst version of the video. Because Rudy Tomjanovich is running full speed. And knocked him down. That's a horrible version of the punch, by the way.
Well, the guy was running in.
I know you were just trying to find the video quickly. Try to find one where it actually has the play-by-play. It was brutal. A lot of people say that was the worst sports punch ever. Fractured all sorts of shit on his face. Do you remember this?
No, I remember absolutely.
Who is Kermit Washington, the white guy or the black guy?
Black guy.
This is like a dumb question, but wow, that was a good shot.
Oh, he did. I mean, he just fucking destroyed him. Maybe you could do a little research and tell me what happened to Rudy Tomjanovich back then. It was 1977.
Is this Clement Washington? No, that's Kareem, but I mean, this guy that we interviewed?
Let me say hi to Chuck in North Carolina. Yes. Chuck, go ahead.
What's going on, boys? Where the fuck you been, Florentine?
He's right here today, so why don't you sit back and relax?
Sit on the road, doing my shit.
He's been hanging with Dice. I saw Florentine's Instagram, I think it was.
Yeah, we're doing a bunch of shows together.
Yeah, he did a little time with Dice over the weekend.
Yeah, well, Dice's show's pretty good, ain't it?
I have no idea what you said.
You said Dice's show.
Yeah, of course it is.
Listen, you want me to call you? I've been touring around, going to basketball games and all kinds of shit.
All right, we all know it's going to be the Cavaliers and the Warriors again. I don't think Toronto's got it to make it to the actual final, especially after playing the Heat for 7 games. They're a tired ball club.
Toronto ain't got no bench. All them other teams has got big benches.
So it's pretty safe to say it's going to be the Cavaliers and the Warriors. Who do you got this year in the rematch?
If the Cavaliers keep shooting threes and playing as good as they're playing right now, I think it'll be a hard matchup for Golden State. But I don't think Cavaliers can keep playing like they're playing. They're kind of off and on sometimes. I really don't. It'll be a good series. I'm out here in California now.
Are you really?
Why are you out there?
Because he doesn't have to fucking work.
My fucking sleep schedule is fucked up as hell. I wake up every morning between 3 and 3:30 East Coast time.
No one gives a shit.
Yeah, well, anyway,
Chuck, why are you out there?
I'm going to the Golden State game tonight.
Oh, you're going to the game.
Nice. Good for you.
I told you, I rented one of those buses. I got me a little pickup truck that I hooked to the back of the bus, and I've been going around to all these ball games. I went to Philly to the North Carolina game, NCAA, and I went to Houston. Then I've been to Houston for the NBA games, and I went to Portland, and now I'm coming back down here. I'm down here outside of...
You are so hiding from the authorities.
I know.
He hit the road to see some sports.
I just always want.
What are you hiding from, Chuck?
Yeah, I did see an Amber Alert with a bus pulling a pickup truck.
No, I just always want to do it, man. I ain't getting no fucking younger. What the hell?
You got money. Chuck has money.
Yeah, you go with your wife or you go alone, Chuck?
No, my wife don't like sports for shit. I'm by myself.
Chuck figured out how to get away from the wife. How long are you going to be on the road for?
Just a funny way to phrase that.
I know.
It depends. I'll probably follow. I'll probably stay out here and watch the Golden State games. Then I don't know what I do. I've been gone a month or so.
Jeez, good for you.
So when you get back, do you have to pretty much like do vacation with your wife?
Oh, well, she's been spending money like a motherfucker since I've been gone.
You guys.
I bought her a car a couple of weeks ago. Before I left, and
that's hilarious. Here, buy yourself a car. I'm hitting the road.
I'll be gone a month. Here's a car.
A month? It sounds like he's going to be gone a lot longer than that.
Well, I've been gone more than a month.
Yeah. He went to the Kentucky Derby, too.
Yeah, I did, man. Them motherfuckers get fucked up as hell down there to watch a bunch of fucking horses ride around. God damn, they get tore up. All the bitches, they dress up like Meryl and wear these funky-ass hats and drink that shit called a julep or something. Tastes like shit.
The mint julep, right.
A lot of hot chicks there, Chuck. A lot of hot chicks.
How can you tell if they're all wearing those goofy hats? How do you tell one's hot?
There is some pussy at the damn Derby. I can tell you that right now.
Right now.
But I have a friend of mine owns some horses. He don't race them at the Derby, but I went with him, and I got a friend of mine out here outside of Oakland owns a software company, and my bus. Well, not my bus, the one I'm using. I'm back behind his company, plugged up to electricity. So I don't have to run the generator. So I'll be out here, and then I'll get up here in a little while and unhook my truck and go into Oakland and check everything out.
Hey, Chuck, we got another guy from North Carolina. He says Chuck is probably traveling until he can legally go back into a bathroom.
That goddamn bathroom shit. I'm so sick of hearing about that bullshit. God damn, that's going to cause a problem. I understand them fuckers want to piss and shit wherever they want to go. I can understand that. But there'll be some fucking weirdos take advantage of that shit. I promise you it'll happen.
Yeah, there are. That's what people are worried about.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to figure out. I don't think you're necessarily wrong. There's definitely some weirdos that will take advantage of something like that.
Although one person, you could say that people could do it now. They could just dress like a woman.
True.
Like you could just dress up and go out if you really wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now but the problem is, before all this, you knew when someone was just dressing up as a woman. It always looked not right. Now you got to accept the ones that don't look quite right as a woman. You know what I'm saying?
I talked to my wife last night, and the governor has a damn house in Western North Carolina, that McCrory fucker, and he's been stirring up all this shit. Anyway, they was protesting his fucking house, and preachers and all these Christian people are standing on bridges preaching. It's a goddamn bunch of crazy shit, man.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Should we just get a third bathroom? What do we do?
I don't know what you're gonna do. I know if I had young kids now and they pass that shit, I wouldn't want my daughter going into a bathroom where two guys dressed up as women was in there. I'm not saying shit.
Well, they wouldn't consider themselves two guys dressed up as women, though. That's what we're arguing.
Let me tell you something. If they got a fucking dick, I don't want them in the bathroom with my daughter if I was if I had young kids now. I just couldn't do it, man.
Look, yeah, it's a hard point to argue against, you know, because if I had a daughter, I'd probably feel that way.
Yeah, you're not
a patron of the other side, of course.
Let me tell you something.
You're not crazy. I don't think you're crazy to think that.
If he's got a 9-year-old daughter and there's a guy that walks in with a dick and she's in there and he has to wait for her outside, he's going to get a little nervous.
You let this shit go down. I don't know about from maybe Hickory or Winston-Salem east, but from the damn Hickory, Winston-Salem, North Carolina west, there'll be some rednecks beat the shit out of some damn people over this, going in the bathrooms and acting fucking weird. They'll get some shit beat up.
But don't forget, whenever stuff like this happens, there's always some shit that happens around it, violence-wise, whether it's fucking getting dragged off a Woolworths counter or whatever it is, and eventually it just kind of goes away.
Oh, yeah, let me tell you something. Like I told y'all before, Asheville, North Carolina is, like Opie said, it'd be a good T-shirt, is queer out the ass. We're getting overrun with queers, lesbians, and trios. You can't go nowhere, man. It's fucking awful.
You can go wherever you want. They're not going to fuck with you.
Yeah, that's true.
I know.
I think Chuck's a little weak. I think Chuck thinks he might go dipping.
Yeah, because you've never had an unpleasant. Do you ever have an unpleasant interaction?
I think.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Why is it them fucking lesbos can't get two good-looking fucking lesbos together? You either got two ugly motherfuckers or one real good-looking one and one ugly as fucking hell. Why don't two good-looking ones get... I could stomach that. But these motherfuckers that look like a man and dress like a man and act like they want to be a fucking man, but then God damn it fires me up.
But let me ask you, though, women like that, do you want to have sex with them?
No.
Well, then the beauty is they found someone. So you should be happy that they're gay because...
get the ugly ones out of the mix, Chuck.
Yeah.
It's not somebody that you want to sleep with, and most guys would probably agree with you. So they're doing you a favor.
Yeah.
Back in my younger day, I've got drunk, fucked ugly women. I guess everybody has. But, damn, man,
Chuck, let's be honest. I like you, but you're not exactly a looker.
I was wondering who was going to say this.
When I was fucking younger, I wasn't bad.
All right,
I had a good time. Goddamn, I'm getting on up for 60.
Right. So Chuck, you put up some good numbers when you were younger?
I didn't do bad. I sold some dope and had a bunch of coke and had nice cars. I could get pussy.
You were selling dope when you were younger?
Oh, man, I made my way through college selling dope.
And I can't believe these fags wrecking the country. Chuck's selling dope.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell, man, that's the way you had to do it back in the day.
Yeah, but a lot of people would say that's way worse, the drug dealers.
Yep.
Well, back then, that's what was going on.
Yeah,
Chuck,
I think you're worried you might go dipping a little bit. That's why you don't want all these, as you said, queers around because maybe you're getting a little weak in the knees when you see that shit. You might want to go dipping.
Last person in the world that will ever commit a homosexual fucking act is Chuck. I fucking promise you that.
Well, let Florentine give you a scenario. Florentine's good with the scenarios.
I'd fuck a billy goat before I'd fuck a man.
Exactly. That's a fucking B-I-L-L-Y. That's a homosexual act.
Well,
his first name is Billy.
I ain't dealing with no man.
Chuck, slow down, Chuck. I want Florentine to give you a scenario to make sure you wouldn't go there.
Well, I think, all right, so he was dealing drugs in the 70s. 70s was open. Everybody was having orgies and
free
stuff.
Free love, right?
Yeah, free love. I'm sure there was a time where they were all fucked up on drugs, and him and his guy friend double-teamed a girl, and maybe their dicks touched, or maybe they did something too. Maybe his friend just started sucking his dick because they were all fucked up on drugs.
Yeah.
With a stripper there doing coke all night.
Right.
I guarantee you in the 70s something like that happened, and Chuck's like trying to forget it, and he's like, holy shit, I don't want to go back to that moment. It did feel good, but I don't want to forget it.
Yeah, maybe it was by accident. Did your helmet touch your friend's helmet while you guys were having a threesome with the stripper back in your drug days?
Or maybe your friend arced one on you?
Yeah.
That damn Florentine needs to be drug tested. He comes up with more shit. Listen, I've been in a room when I was in college and a lot of people was fucking, and I've been all that, but I ain't never been with two men with one girl. I've been in a pile with girls before when I had an 8-ball, and all of them wanted to get in there and snort coke. And but I ain't been around no man. If my dick was to touch another man or my balls hit on another man, I'd lose my fucking mind.
You were never in a room where it was you and another guy fucking a girl or two girls.
No. And you saw your friend naked, and then yours, might have moved a little bit.
I've been in a motel room where I was fucking a girl in one bed, and a guy was fucking a girl in another, and everybody was naked. But I ain't never been on a tag team with them, one girl and another guy. I just never been put in that situation. I just, and I don't think I'm a bad guy for selling dope. I had to damn do what I had to do to make it through college.
No, but
I'm just saying it's ironic.
Chuck, but Chuck, think about it, Chuck.
Don't you think?
Chuck, think about it. You had an erection with another guy in a room having sex.
I guess when a girl sucks your dick, they're fucking another man. If you don't get a fucking hard on, something's wrong.
Yeah, but what if your friend was looking at you in the eye as she's sucking your dick in the bed across from you?
If he was looking me in the eye, I could see the motherfucker. I can see that right now. I've drank that wild turkey and had to snort coke to stay awake and fuck her. I mean, I've had a hard life, but I've had to do what I had to do. I ain't never been to jail but once.
Why were you in jail there, Chuck?
I was at a bar one night, and this guy punched the girl in the face, and I took up for her, and got into a fight with him. They both threw us out and took us to jail, and I got put in jail. It ain't on my record. I got put in jail, and they let me out to talk to the magistrate about getting bond. And did you know that goddamn stupid bitch and her mama came to jail to get the motherfucker out that punched her? That was her boyfriend. And I thought, never in my fucking life again I get into no shit like that.
Yeah. That's the way it is when you interfere, like with one of those things. You never know, like they're both going to turn on you.
Yeah.
That's trouble looking for a place to happen. I'll never do that again. I hate to see that. He knocked the bitch down. Of course, I was drunk too, and we got the scuffle, and in bars, they throw both people out. It don't matter what the fuck they did.
Yeah.
But I stuck my nose in there trying to be fucking Johnny.
Maybe we should just get one big giant bathroom. Combine the bathrooms and have individual stalls or something where everyone is doing their shit in private.
What the fuck is the not NCAA, fuck, I've been to too many ball games. NAACP sticking their nose in this damn shit here. They always got their goddamn stick their nose in something. They know their fucking business.
What are they saying? Yeah, what are they saying on this?
Well, they're talking about the rights and rights violations and all that. I just don't think it's none of their fucking business.
This is not a bathroom bill. This is a hate bill. Is it that one? North Carolina NAACP promises sit-ins if lawmakers don't repeal.
Oh, yeah, it's a bunch of fucking shit. I'm sick of it, man.
Well, then I'd like to hear your solution, because everyone's trying to figure out what the right thing to do is.
The bathroom you're talking about with it is the right way to do it, but it's hard to just get. Hold on, Charlie. It's just harder to get a company just to go, okay, now you pay to build it.
Right.
Like I went to eat at a place, and you go down the stairs, and there's just a couple of sinks out there, and then there's a whole bunch of different stalls to go to the bathroom, and it's actually convenient that way because you can wait for any bathroom. It's one person, you shit, one person, whatever you do. But it's hard to get a place to build that if they don't already have it.
I think that's where we're going eventually, though. I really do. Right here, you just knock down the wall here at Sirius XM, and then you just pop up a whole bunch of stalls on the.
It's a lot, to put bathrooms in place. A lot of money.
Yeah, I understand, but they're not businesses. They're not going to go. They're not going to go with a third bathroom option. I don't think, right? I guess they will do that temporarily. They should have a third.
What problems did they have before?
What do you mean?
What was the problem with the way it was now? The girls, the guys, whatever they are.
Well, I mean, the transgenders are becoming pretty powerful, so they want their voices heard, and now they are basically saying, look, even though I have a penis, I consider myself a woman, and I got to go in the ladies' room, to take my dump.
Well, why didn't they just keep going in the ladies' room like they were doing and using the stall?
Probably because a lot of them, it's easy if you look like Bailey J. or some of the other young delights whose names I will not mention, but it's harder if you don't. If you look like Jeffrey Tambor and transparent, it's probably difficult. Like, what the fuck do I do if I'm out in public? I can't go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
What do you think the percentage of these, what do they call these people? I can't never keep up with all this shit. Transvestites?
No, silly.
You picked the wrong one.
That's a subgroup of the umbrella.
Transgender. What do you reckon the percentage is of those people versus
who go to the bathroom 100%.
No, everybody else in the United States. It's got to be very small.
Probably right. Yeah,
they say what 10% of the country's gay, right? Something like that. So out of
talking about the transgender.
No, I understand. I'm trying to do the math in my head.
Yeah, it's got to be less.
It's got to be less than 1%.
Sure.
Okay.
Way less than 1%.
Why is it the wants of the very, very fucking few? The whole other country has to then conform to them. I don't understand that. That's you're talking about less than 1%. That's not many people considering what money is going to have to be spent and all the shit that's going to happen for this. I don't understand that.
Yeah,
1%, fuck.
I understand why it's annoying, especially if other people are put out. But if people are saying, look, we just want to be able to do this comfortably, we're not asking you people to do anything. Like, they're not asking men and women to change their lives at all. I'm not saying the bill is right, but I'm saying that they're not saying we want men and women to use different bathrooms. They're just saying we just want to use this one, and people are going, we don't want you to. So even if you're a small group of people are saying they don't want you to do something, then that's what the issue is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't like when, it's almost like in a school. I hate when they say, no one in the school can wear Halloween costumes. That's fucking shit. Because someone doesn't like it, no one can do it.
Right.
That to me is what you're talking about, and that's wrong.
And that's the mentality of this country. It happens all over the place, that damn thing. The minority rules in a lot of cases.
Yeah, I think this is just people going, we don't want you to do it, and I think that's just a different thing.
I think a lot of people have a problem with the fact that there's some people that aren't that passable, and that's what the ones that aren't passable are the ones that are freaking out the people the most. If you're passable, you probably don't even know that they're already in there.
Absolutely.
Well, here's one thing that's a fact. The toothpaste is already out of the fucking tube. They're going to do something. One way or the other. It's just eventually North Carolina's going to have to give in. Well, Corey, that governor, he's up for elections. And then fucking Obama got to stick his fucking nose in there and tell the states what they got to fucking do. I mean, they're going to have to do something. It'll happen, ain't no way, but we have we're in the Bible Belt where I live, and it's just going to be a major stink bomb.
But I think Obama gets a bad rap with a lot of these issues because he wasn't ready to move forward on a lot of these things. Biden really pushed this agenda.
Biden's a goddamn crazy motherfucker. You ever seen him when he used to sit back there behind that Congress and Senate? He looks about like he's about half fucking cropped half the time.
He's great.
I know, I love Biden, but Biden's the one who called him out, and supposedly Obama yelled at him, like screamed at him, like, why did you bring this shit up?
Obama wasn't ready to go down that road because a lot of people think this is Obama, cheerleading this whole effort. I mean, he's in now, but he was sort of forced into this by Biden. Everyone knows that.
We got this black guy, this senator guy down there in North Carolina. He's fucking 1,000 years old, limps around like a fucking crib. He's in with all that. And he took this and made it a big issue in North Carolina to get some of his shit pushed through also. It's just a bunch of fucking
shit. It's a goddamn mess. But enjoy the Warriors game tonight there, Chuck.
All right, man, I'm fixing to make me some breakfast. I ain't eating no vegan shit. I can tell you that right now.
That's all right. I'm just telling you what's going on in my life. I'm not preaching this shit. Trust me. What are you having for breakfast, Chuck?
All right, man, I think I got plenty of bacon in there in the fridge. I'm going to have some eggs over easy, grits, some whole wheat toast, and orange juice, and I'll probably have a big old glass of fucking milk,
Yep,
too.
The breakfast of queers.
He's going to invite a friend into his RV.
I know.
And in about 45 minutes after that, I'm probably going to shit a Yule log in the fucking bathroom.
Yeah, right next to a guy, right next to a transgender.
Is it a nice RV, Chuck?
Oh, yeah, it's a Prevost. It's not the kind that's got all the bunks in it for a rock star. It's just like for somebody wanted to buy one just to travel. It's got a huge bed back here, bathroom, shower. It's got a tub in this motherfucker.
Wow, where do you park it? Do you, like JV Smooth was on, he talked about his RV obsession. Do you find like an RV park and do all that?
Yeah, I do. I stayed in one when I came from Portland down here. They're real nice. Some of the small ones, you can't get a bus like this in. Some of the small places, but this is a big fucker.
Oh, well, you have a bus. You're not driving a pickup truck pulling one. Your bus is pulling your truck.
Yeah, the bus is hooked to the back.
Oh, it's like one of those rock band buses.
Yeah, it's about.
I love that you didn't bring your wife, and it's because you're going to a lot of sporting events. Couldn't she be doing shit while you go to the Golden State Warriors
There's
game
a lot
tonight?
of shit to do in San Francisco.
Right, she could have went to a movie and went shopping.
She don't care nothing about that. Her and this girl she went to school with that. Spending money, going to Charlotte. They goddamn going everywhere.
Oh, what's that about?
I went to Charleston and stayed down there and just shopping and shit. She'll buy shit, put in the closet, or stay in there 10 fucking years, end up throwing it away.
So her and a girlfriend are going away. They stay in the same hotel room,
Oh, goddamn Florentine. That's why I bet that fucking Florentine's been in a tag team. Might brush his pecker up against another man's leg or something.
No, but I've been in tag teams, but no, Peckers didn't hit legs.
Peckers didn't hit legs.
If I brush my heart on up against another man, that's something that just fall like an oak tree.
Hold on. Someone wants us to get you off the radio. Hold on. Say hi to Kurt. Say hi to Kurt at Salt Lake. Go ahead, Kurt.
Salt Lake City. That's there where all them Mormons are, ain't it?
Yep. Go ahead, Kurt.
Hey, you're fucking right. That's where all the Mormons are. There's probably Mormons in your fucking state, too. You're a piece of shit. You know that? You fucking illiterate sounding son of a bitch.
Why am I a piece of shit?
Why are you a piece of shit? Because you get on there with your fucking cooter sounding motherfucking voice. You sound like a fucking... You're just a dumb motherfucker.
What makes you think I'm done because I got a southern accent?
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
I'm not dumb. I'm not dumb at all.
No, you act like you're fucking dumb, and you're fucking, you know what, here in the deal with fucking queers or lesbians, you're fucking, you just sound fucking stupid. There's a fucking radio program here in Salt Lake that has some dumb son of a bitch that sounds just like you. I believe that's probably you on that radio station, too.
Oh, I call Opie, and I call Bennington's every once in a while, and that's it. But I'm not stupid. Don't hate on me. You probably like me, man. I'm just honest. I say what I feel, and if more people did that shit, we would have a lot better place. And I ain't politically correct for shit.
Back to you, Kurt.
Well, I just say this. I don't understand why they have you on the program. You're not funny. You don't care what
I'm trying to be funny. I call in here and talk to Opie about basketball and things that are going on. You think I live in a fucking 10 under bridge and I'm a stupid motherfucker. I'm not stupid. I got businesses. You think I could take off and let my businesses run themselves for 6 months and go around and watch ball games and shit?
That just shows that you're not necessary.
They don't need you at all.
You think I can take off and have my businesses profit through the roof while I'm gone?
If I didn't have some good people running my stuff, I couldn't do it because I don't trust a lot of people with my money.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
All right. Anything else, Kurt?
Well, anyway, I just wanted to tell you that I don't understand why you have that guy on there. It's not funny.
Hey, Kurt, if you'll leave your number with Opie and them, I can call you. We can have a conversation.
Ooh.
Well, yeah.
Sexy Chet.
Wow, what's that about, Chuck?
I can give you the recipe for red-eye gravy. I bet they don't have red-eye gravy in fucking Utah.
Gravy?
Gravy, that's what I fucking thought. Goddamn, you don't like fucking bitch.
That's what I'm saying, you stupid son of a bitch. You can't be fucking sick. Don't fuck off the radio. You're not fucking funny.
I ain't trying to be funny, you ignorant motherfucker.
Opie, Jim, and Jim, you guys have a good day.
He wanted to give you his gravy recipe. What's wrong with that?
You never ate gravy and biscuits, Opie.
Who doesn't like gravy? Jesus.
That's what I'm saying.
What's wrong with that guy? Now I'm on Chuck's side. Everyone loves gravy.
You ever had red-eye gravy made with bacon grease and shit?
Yeah, it's on Fox.
Damn, it's
terrible
good as
joke. Terrible joke.
Why is it called red-eye gravy? It's done with the...
They make it out of the grease from bacon and shit like that. It's good as hell, man.
Sounds really good. All right, Chuck, we're going to let you go.
I knew some motherfucker call in and try to rob me. I was trying to be nice. I ain't said the N-word in a long time, and that's because of y'all.
Well, you're going to an NBA game tonight. You probably shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and I'm going to tell you something else. There's some weirdo motherfuckers out here in California. Western North Carolina ain't got shit on these weirdo fuckers out here.
What's so weird about the Californians?
Oh, everybody just loves every fucking body. Nobody can do no wrong. Let's just all love each other. Don't make a fuck what you do. It's right no matter what. I just can't handle that shit. But I do like to go to them ball games.
All right. Well, have fun tonight, buddy.
I'm going to call you here in a week or so.
All right. Yeah, he'll be on the road for a while. Yeah, call us from time to time when you got a good road story.
Hey, Florentine, think of some more homosexual activities.
I'm thinking of it right now, actually.
Yeah.
I'm sure you are.
Because you're in Golden State. You're right near San Francisco, so I'm sure you're having a good time. And nobody knows.
I'm outside of Oakland, maybe. I ain't got too far of a drive in there. I think about 35 minutes. All right, boys.
All right,
man.
Hey, I'm surprised somebody didn't call in and talk about me, said I'd fucking Billy go.
All right. Thank you, buddy. Chuck in North Carolina. Always a pleasure. Where the fuck is he going to, where's he going to park that bus for the game?
I don't know. There's got to be, he's got his truck, so he'll find an RV park and then drive, which is smart. That's
right. I forgot he got the truck. Yeah, of course.
If you're going to travel like that, he seems to be doing it right.
Wait, so he has the Rock bus, and then he's towing his pickup truck?
Yeah, he's got a whole operation going.
Why wouldn't you do the Rock bus and then use your Uber?
Yeah,
that's just too much.
A lot of times.
You think it's too much?
You could find hotels where you could put the RV in the parking lot. You have to call around. A lot of bands do that too.
Yeah.
Where they'll give you that space in the back or whatever. So
right, near the dumpster or something?
Yeah, he has to find those hotels. He'll park it there and then he'll take his truck, I guess, to the venue. Yeah, you should Uber.
Uber. Then you don't have to drag the truck around.
Which, by the way, I used Uber the other night, like a Saturday night at 1:30 in the morning. It was supposed to be $30. It was $94, double time at 1:30 in the morning. The surge, they charge a cab would have cost me $50.
Is Uber starting
to fuck Uber? Yeah.
Is Uber starting to fuck their business model?
Yeah, 1:30 in the morning. Anyone had a few drinks, doesn't want to drive. They're coming home from a bar. So that's what, and they charge you double and a half time. $93.
Yeah, the price surges are a little annoying because everyone wants to use them, so they just... It's almost the price surging is basically, we know you all need us, so we're going to stick it in your ass.
Yeah.
It's like you shouldn't be raising your prices because you're obviously you're doing a lot of work right now.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Lyft right now is doing that, LYFT.
Yeah,
There's another one.
Lyft is becoming pretty popular there, Eric.
But Uber's a multi-billion-dollar corporation, so they're going to do wrong things.
There's also a website. If you're on both of them, you go right to that website and put in your address, and it'll tell you who's the cheaper rate at that time.
Yeah, Lyft does a lot of bar gigs and stuff at hotels and sporting events now because Uber pretty much was the go-to, but the prices surging, and then sometimes they're not even showing up. Like they're discriminating a little bit. Like they'll see who the client is, and then they just don't stop or they'll pass. So this way,
if they see a bunch of drunks outside of a bar,
right? They just won't deal with it.
Oh, they do the old drive-by.
Yep. And then they'll say, "Oh no, I stopped by and you weren't there." And then they dismiss through the app that says, your driver canceled this request, and then they go and find somebody else. But Lyft is now becoming the big thing.
Man, it's becoming pretty damn convenient.
Yeah, though. They're advertising Lyft a lot,
and they're leaving certain cities too.
I just don't like getting into people's dirty cars.
They're usually pretty clean, though.
Yeah, I've had a few dirty Ubers. It's weird where they're moving all their personal shit so you can sit.
No, I never had that.
You haven't? You've had nice cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did recently after my kid's birthday party. We were in Times Square. We were desperate. We got some Ubers. And I jumped in some guy's just old fucking mess of a car.
They're leaving certain cities, too. Like right after we finished with Austin, about a week or so later, Uber and Lyft both left.
Why?
Austin, because the city wanted to regulate it like they do with the taxi commission.
Yeah.
And they said, we're not going to be a part of this. And
so they let Austin win.
So, no, they left the city and said, you're going to need us more than we need you.
No, they spent a lot of money they spent a lot of money fighting in court.
Right.
But I think, did Austin, again, these cunty city councils, but didn't they just want them to go through background checks?
Yeah, it was going...
It didn't seem that unreasonable.
That's what they said on front, is like to go through regulation. And it makes sense, but then it falls behind where, unionizing and all that other kind of stuff, where the city gets a cut of what they do.
Okay.
And that's where they were saying, no, we're not doing this. It wasn't that they didn't want you to screen the drivers to make sure that they're okay. That was in the front, but in the back was that the city wanted to control it and get a percentage of it, and that's what they didn't want to do.
Of course. Austin's supposed to be this really hip, free-thinking place. It's like, come on, what are you guys doing? Uber and Lyft, these are great services.
They're made for Austin, a city like Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they said they have that kind of power. So, if the city doesn't want to regulate it, then, if the city's trying to regulate it, they're going to say, well, you need us more than we need you. So they pulled out.
Keep calling these shitty cab companies that will show up with one more person in the cab, or they don't show up at all. City cab, or whatever it is. They'll be there in an hour. The fucking nightmare I had dealing with those companies. Living in New York's easier, but when you live in a city like that, it's harder.
Yeah. My favorite part of this whole thing is how those medallions have just nosedived in value.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they were going
like
up
$1 million.
They were going up by hundreds of thousands of dollars every time there would be an auction for one, and now they're
worth nothing.
They're worth nothing.
Pennies.
Good. They should. What do they do? Who gets the money from the medallions? The cab companies or the city?
No, you buy a medallion.
You do, right?
And then you kind of rent it out to these drivers. So drivers don't own the medallions.
Right,
they are paying a specific amount of money to the owner of the medallion.
I'm a big fan of the companies fucking it up when they're the only game in town and they see the competition is getting started and they just completely ignore them. And then they play catch up. That's what's happening here in New York City. The cabs are trying to catch up to the convenience of Uber and Lyft.
I have the cab app.
They were the only game in town,
but I haven't used it yet. But I don't know how there's so many yellow cabs. If I want a yellow cab, I don't know if I would actually go on the app. There's a million of them.
No, because one of those cabs could go, all right, I'm gonna get you. But if they see a person 2 blocks from you, they're gonna blow you off. Of course they're going to blow you off.
There's always a place, though, like wherever you live, right? My new place, there's a place where I kind of can get a cab, especially in the morning. It's pretty good for it, but then there's some places that just stink. But like where I am, I'm like, I got to go to the corner and find someone. And I just yell, yoo-hoo.
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 Please. Show a little leg.
Yes, I do. I did E-Rock's show on Friday. It was a lot of fun.
Really? How was that?
E-Rock was very enjoyable.
E-Rock does a very good radio show.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, there's video now of Jerry showing you how to box in the...
Oh, that's right.
Wait, you did Cooney show?
I did. It was great.
And then you stopped in and saw he?
Yeah, Cooney's partner, his radio partner, used to be like a boxing commissioner. I forget his name, but he knows everything about boxing.
Yeah.
And we were talking, they periscoped it, Jerry Cooney showing me how to throw a punch. Because I always wondered how guys threw with their legs. Like when people say use your legs, like Tyson was notorious for doing that. I didn't know how to do it, of course. And I'm wearing the same shirt, but I did wash it. That he showed me how to throw a punch. And when a guy like Jerry Cooney is positioning himself over you realize the damage another of your species.
Huge hands.
Look at it. It's a fucking.
Yeah, let's play this.
It's like a foot.
Like a minute and a half. Yeah,
let me play this.
I'm a righty.
Okay, so hands up. Okay.
Look at the size of his hands.
When I throw a punch.
Size of your head.
When you throw right hand. Okay, stay, hands up. Look down. Where are you? You're here. See, you're here?
Yeah. It's touching my left leg.
This is you. So most of your power's already gone. You're in that picture, right? Here's me. I'm by my knee. All my power's right here. I'm way back here. And all I gotta do is step here. Oh. And now I'm by this knee. Come back with my hook there. I'm back by this knee. So I'm in my body. So when you throw a right hand, you just gotta hold this wrist tight. Just turn your shoulder, elbow tight. Shoulder. No, don't. Yeah, but don't understand. Just fall in with you. Watch me. Watch my knee. See my knee? Come in. That's it right there. And leave it there. Now stay there.
Right now, what I'm doing is I'm flailing wildly my hands in a U-masher fashion.
That's it. Nice and easy, but short, right here. 6-inch punches. So you're gonna come to here.
He mushed my head down. He's really alpha mailing me.
Look at this guy.
He just palmed your head like a basketball.
Dude, he's having his way with you.
Yeah, he really is.
Like you're a rag doll.
Let me see your jab. Let me see your left jab.
So you want to be over your knee?
So you're balanced and you're safe.
Okay.
See here, I'm off balance and I'm in danger. I'm in the picture.
You're not in danger, Jerry. It's me.
Let me see your jab.
Jab.
Yeah. Okay, now watch my face. This is you. See that?
He's flailing his arm like a fruit.
What are you going to do to me? You can hit me with the right hand. Watch this. What can you do now?
Nothing.
So just drop your head down. That's it right there.
He's teaching me to throw a jab with my head down. I don't know if this plays on the radio.
No, but that man, I know how to knock him out. I know, right? You can leave him on the floor right now.
All right, we'll tweet that out though. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a chance to have Jerry Cooney
teach you how
one of the best left hooks, teach you how to throw a punch,
get a little strength behind your punch.
Yeah, I was not good at it.
All right, let's.
Got 33 views. Oh, it's Josh's version.
Josh used to work for this show.
That's right.
He's a good boy, and now he He's working for Cooney. Good to see the old interns making good with their lives.
He's good.
All right, we got Jim Florentine in studio today. I'm Your Savior. New special out now. DVD, CD, and digital download now available on Jim's website, which is jimflorentine.com.
It's up on iTunes, and you can rent it now for like $2.99 or something like that. So
great.
Yeah, I'm Your Savior. And then Memorial Day weekend, I'm at Laugh Boston in Boston, Mass. And then June 1st, Rock Island Brewing Company, Rock Island, Illinois. And then June 4th, World Cafe Live in Wilmington, Delaware.
Nice. jimflorentine.com for all your dates. And Jimmy, not hitting the road this week, right?
No, this week I'm here. Then I go to L.A. and Vegas, and then West Hampton, New York, the 11th. And coming up this week on sale will be, I got Albuquerque, Salt Lake City, Orlando, my first time ever in Edmonton, Oklahoma. I'm finally doing Oklahoma. I'm doing Fargo. I'm doing Atlanta. I got like 15 more dates.
Holy shit. When is this hitting?
It's, I believe Wednesday it's going on sale.
Great. JimNorton.com for all his dates. Second leg of the big theater tour.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. On the show today, we got Adrien Brody. His episode with Dice was amazing.
Unbelievable.
It was unbelievable how
I have a lot of questions.
About that episode?
Yeah, I want to ask him, yeah.
Well, he's promoting a movie, but we definitely want to talk to him about playing, basically imitating Dice to Dice. It was a great episode. Showtime would be stupid if they don't order more episodes of that show, by the way.
That show's got a lot of buzz.
It does,
right?
So it'll be, they'll pick it up. It's pretty obvious. That's good to hear.
And they promoted it. I would see billboards for it, so that's what happens when you promote it.
It was a quick 6 episodes. It went by like nothing. So I guess if they bring it back, they'll order like 12 or so at least, right?
And we should get the story when we come back about this insurance company that asked the comedy gal in Montreal to cut this joke about free speech. They're worried about lawsuits.
Right. Yeah, we'll do that. Eric is raising his hand over there.
Oh, Eric, hi!
Hi. Adrian's in one of Jimmy's favorite movies, The Village.
I forgot he was in The Village.
I didn't even remember.
A major part of it.
I didn't remember.
So you should talk to him about The Village.
But he's such a good actor. I mean, it's not a great movie, but I don't fault him for that. I just fault M. Night fucking that guy.
Shyamalan, whatever. Yeah. And also we got Moby coming in to promote his book, which is called Porcelain, and it's getting very good reviews so far because it's pretty open and honest in his book. He's not holding back too much, so stay there. Travis, that's weird. You just read my mind. I know it's Chris Novoselic's birthday, 51 today, but just as you started this, I got a text message from Hard Rock Johnny. It says, hey, we have an auction at the Hard Rock this weekend, and this Cobain guitar and letter are being auctioned off.
You gotta buy one. If I had your money, I would buy that.
If you want to come check them out today, you could swing by after the show. We'll have them out till 3 today. It's a letter that Kurt Cobain wrote to David Geffen. And then, I don't know what the guitar is all about. Oh, it's a smashed guitar. I don't play guitar, so who gives a fuck? Like I would play it anyway. What, that's not cool?
I'd rather a real guitar that Kurt plays.
It's just that the neck is smashed on it. What do you mean?
Well, unless you put it in a case, I guess.
Well, I need to know more about this guitar, Hard Rock Johnny. Let me write him back just in case he's not listening.
It's probably just one of many that he smashed.
All right, but let's find out. What's the guitar?
So what would you pay for something like that?
I don't know, like $128.
That's fair.
Nah, dude, never. It'd be way more than that.
You paid
all right,
$20,000 for that?
Fuck no.
$10,000.
I'm not a collector. I mean, if it was...
It'd be a lot more than $20,000.
Do you think it's a lot more than $20,000 for the guitar?
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
a few $100,000.
I'm not a collector in that way. I got an autograph that might be Kurt Cobain's, thanks to Dr. Steve.
Yeah. I don't know if it would be that much. I mean, his unplugged sweater sold for $137,000.
That would be cool.
And that's an iconic
it is
thing.
But see, I swear to you, I would come to work wearing that.
I know you would. It would bother me.
That would bother you.
Oh, my God.
Spill ketchup on it.
All of a sudden, just spilling my coffee on it. I'm not even saying that for the radio. If I had that Kurt Cobain sweater from the Unplugged, I would absolutely come to work wearing it in the winter.
I bought old concert T-shirts I can't even bring myself to wear because I don't want to fucking spill something on them. So why did I buy them, huh?
I'll buy shirts at shows and not wear them.
No, but these are from like eBay, from like an Ozzy shirt from 80. I got that Ozzy, Randy, Rudy Sarzo shirt from 82.
So what do you do with the shirts? Do you at least display them?
No, but I'm going to wear it. It's like stupid not to. The old Sabbath ones I have, I would literally have to be built like fucking Swayze and Roadhouse to wear because they're like small from the 70s.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons I wanted to keep the weight off was to buy these old concert shirts and wear them, and I'm not wearing them.
Wear them.
I know.
Yeah. You wear them once, you be careful, right?
You know what the problem?
Then you get them dry clean.
They're gettable.
The shirts are made so much better now. The thin,
right?
The thin, the fabric instead of like that old black heavy shit, and that's where most of the concert shirts are made. So I don't like wearing them anymore. Those I have like 600 concert T-shirts.
They're not as comfortable, right?
No.
Oh God, is there anything worse than a black shirt with the collar that's a little tight around your neck and it's just heavy and it makes you feel like you got an itch.
Even when I go to concerts now, I make sure it's the thin fabric.
Yeah,
I
of
won't
course.
buy it,
and it's got to be on the soft side.
Yeah.
Wendell Pierce was arrested Saturday after allegedly physically assaulting a woman supporting Bernie Sanders. What was this about?
Well, it happened at 3:20 in the morning. Wendell Pierce.
Yeah, we've had him in here from The Wire. I love Wendell Pierce. How's the story go?
They're saying that he was at this hotel in Atlanta, and after they say he was allegedly physically assaulted a woman who supported Bernie Sanders. They said the actor struck up a chat with her and the boyfriend, and he's a big Hillary supporter, and he got upset when she said she was a Bernie supporter. And the article is TMZ is saying, we're told that he became enraged, pushed the boyfriend, and went after his girlfriend, grabbing her hair and smacking her in the head. And the boyfriend and her went to the hotel room, called security. He posted $1,000 bond and was released. But who knows?
Yeah, it's just one side of the story so far.
Sure.
Interesting.
You think they'd fight over like Hillary or Trump or Bernie or Trump, not Hillary and Bernie?
Yeah, I mean, because those two camps are going to have to get together, right? Eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, Hillary needs the Bernie Sanders supporters when she gets the nomination. Bernie doesn't have a shot, no?
I don't know.
He's got to run the table, and then it's still tough after that?
Yeah.
I like Bernie Sanders.
I like him.
Do you like him?
I like him. He's a maniac. He's screaming.
Out of the three left, I like Bernie Sanders the most because he seems to be the most genuine. But, I mean, he would be horrible for me. He would want all my fucking money.
I know.
So that doesn't make sense.
You'd be doing weekend shifts here with Bernie in office.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then you got Trump, who was playing his own publicist back in the day, and now he's denying that it was him. And
why wouldn't he just say, "Yeah, I was fucking with the press"?
He said, "Yeah, back in the day that it was him." But now he has changed his tune and is basically saying it's not him.
All he has to say is, "Yeah, I was fucking with the press. They're idiots."
That's what he said.
I wanted to build up my own team or whatever.
There's audio of him. Like,
I know. It's like, why wouldn't you just say that?
And what was the one phrase he used in the old audio? And then they compare it to him saying it 1,000,000 times nowadays during the campaign. Did you see that video clip?
Yeah, there's some kind of like amazing or...
I forgot exactly what it was. But
whatever the phrase is,
but it's definitely something pretty much only Trump says.
Can we hear the audio?
It's a bit on the it's a rough recording, but yeah, we certainly can. You're going to find that Iraq.
Well, look, the bottom line is he wasn't going to lose any votes if he said, it was me fucking around.
The real amazing
story. He still won't lose any with this.
No, his supporters don't give a fuck. Trump denies faking 1991 call to reporter, but back in the day, I think it was for People magazine, was it? But back in the day, a couple weeks later, he did admit it was him. But now he's saying that it's not him. And then a reporter asked him about it, and then he hung up on a reporter.
Recently?
Yeah, over the weekend or on Friday, whatever it was. Trump denies faking 1991 call to reporter.
What's your name again? John Miller. And you were with Donald? Yes, that's correct.
It was back in the 1980s, and when the flashy New York real estate mogul needed to get a bit of news out, the newspaper reports it was common knowledge among New York reporters that Trump just assumed a different name and handled the media calls himself. Like this call from reporter Sue Carswell at People magazine concerning Trump's breakup with girlfriend Marla Maples.
What kind of comment is coming from your agency or from Donald? Well, it's just that he really decided that he wasn't, he didn't want to make the commitment. He didn't want to make a commitment. He really thought it was too soon. He's coming out of a marriage that, and he's starting to do tremendously well financially, and he just thought it was too soon to make any commitment to anybody.
So what is going to happen with her? Is she being asked to leave, or she's going to be allowed to stay?
Well, he treats everybody well, and you don't know him, but he's a...
No, I have met him.
Have you met him?
Yes.
He's a good guy, and he's not going to hurt anybody.
Yeah, good for him. Good for him.
Was the word tremendous?
It was tremendously well, yes. And then they went to him saying tremendously well a lot during this campaign.
What a non-story this is. Who gives a
I know.
fuck?
It's only a non-story because he's denying.
Oh, that's true.
But who has this audio from 1991? Like, who would save that?
It was
just in the archives.
Reporters who maybe think maybe I'll write a book one day. Let me just save everything.
Okay. It was just in a file somewhere, and then everyone has been digging in their old files to see what Trump has said.
The Washington Post is going to try to take him down. They're going after everything.
Well, they're all about this. They're the one pushing this one.
Wow.
Push play on this story.
Well, and he will treat Marla well. And, he's somebody that has a lot of options, and frankly, he gets called by everybody. He gets called by everybody in the book in terms of women.
If that John Miller sounds like Trump, it's because audio forensic expert Tom Owen says, in his opinion, it is.
I can conclude with a fair degree of scientific certainty that it is Donald Trump's voice.
This afternoon, Owens compared the John Miller on that phone call with People magazine to the real Donald Trump interviewed on CNN's Larry King Live in the 1990s. Due to the quality of the old recordings, he couldn't use his biometric analysis that he says would be absolutely certain, but based on pitch, tone, cadence, and his expertise, John Miller and Donald Trump are one and the same.
Yes, it's my opinion that it is Donald Trump's voice.
Reportedly, Trump even tacitly admitted under oath to using one of his false PR names in a 1990 court testimony when he said, "I believe on occasion I used that name."
Thank you, everybody.
Trump was confronted with the taped phone call and the Washington Post story on Friday's Today Show.
No, I don't think it. I don't know anything about it. You're telling me about it for the first time, and it doesn't sound like my voice at all. I have many, many people that are trying to imitate my voice, and you can imagine that. And this sounds like one of the scams, one of the many scams. Doesn't sound like me.
The problem is if he's lying, that's a little rough. He should just come clean and say, "Yeah, this is what I did back in the day."
Yeah. You know what?
Makes it rough if he's lying.
Hillary lied about being in a war zone.
Sure.
I'll take him lying about just saying Donald Trump is great and then what I feel like an ass, because that's a non.
They're all liars.
But that has no effect on any of us.
I love that the publicist that he's pretending to be is just like
he's a great guy.
Yeah. All the women call him
right.
He's a really potent lover.
Oh, you met him before? Yeah, he's a great guy. He treats Marla great, and he
yes.
Every woman in the book calls him.
Yeah, he bottoms out when he makes love.
Wasn't he talking about Madonna too? Like Madonna wanted to date him.
I don't know that one.
That was part of that whole fucking tape that came out.
Oh,
he was talking about how Madonna wanted him.
How could she not?
God. Whatever. They all suck. We got Adrien Brody coming in a little while. Moby coming in a little later today. What else in the news? We did the Wendell Pierce. There was something else. What was? I was thinking of Travis today just because a documentary about Oasis is coming in October, and I cannot wait, and I know Travis can't wait.
That's the only reason I put it on your sheet.
I know. But
it's by the same people. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say it too. Yeah, by the same people who did the Amy Winehouse documentary, which was great. I loved Amy. That was awesome. It was, and that's the guy who did the Formula One documentary, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. He knows how to put something together, so it should be pretty good.
2 hours of the Gallaghers fighting with each other.
Would you and you enjoy it?
I can't wait. They're the best.
Fucking wait. And that'll be out in October.
Hold on. For example, I think this is about Trump. He said stories go around that Trump wanted to date Madonna, and stemmed wholly from a function the pair were attending separately. Miller said, this is Miller, this is the publicist.
Miller, a.k.a. Donald Trump.
Said the Material Girl wanted to meet his boss, and so he agreed. While visiting with the pop singer and her then-boyfriend Tony Ward, he signed autographs for her entourage. To set the scene, Miller said that Madonna was wearing an evening gown and combat boots. While the meeting was short and sweet, the press took the ball and ran with it, implying Trump was interested in dating her when he had zero interest. And then she called him and wanted to go out, Miller said. She got this PR machine and boyfriend, I just made that up, and that plays with people very well. And Mr. Trump was busy. His giant genitals had hurt his back, and he was having his giant genitals lightened.
Huh? Just read it yourself, Eric.
All right. Miller insisted that the pair never went out, so a Trump-Madonna romance was not to be, but it wasn't from the material girl's lack of trying.
Very nice.
She was chasing him.
All right, I got info on the Kurt Cobain guitar that's broken in half. That's going to be auctioned off at the Hard Rock Cafe.
What does he think it might go for?
Here,
$10 million?
He says estimate 30 to 40 G's.
Oh, I was way off. I'm bad at guessing on dead guys' guitars.
It seems like the estimate's always on the low side, though.
Well, I didn't know it was broken.
A Kurt Cobain electric guitar played and destroyed by Cobain at Nirvana's July 13th, 1980 concert at Maxwell's in Hoboken, New Jersey.
1980?
1990?
I said 1989, didn't I say that?
1989.
What did I say?
80.
Oh, geez. 1989, okay. Let's see.
Oh, at Maxwell's?
Yeah. After the show, Cobain, along with his bandmates, stayed at the home of a record executive, and Cobain gave the guitar to her. The guitar has been stripped of all electronics and components, accompanied by a letter from Rich and a guitar case.
Why was it stripped of all electronics?
I don't know. Maybe they built another guitar using that shit. Who knows?
Who stripped it? What if Kurt stripped it?
I don't know.
Travis?
I don't know. I just know that you would be terrible at auctions with your high bids.
Yes, I would. Bang, 600,000. All right.
I just stopped the guy cold in his tracks. All right.
Hey, it was 4 do I hear 5? I hear 5. It's way overbidding.
I went to my first auction from my kid's school a few months ago. Wow. This lady went up there. She was the auctioneer. It was amazing to just watch how she played the fucking room, man. That is a talent, no?
Yeah, they're really... I enjoy watching a good auctioneer.
Yeah.
It sounds like me when I'm eating pussy. That's what I talk.
And then the handwritten letter, I think I'd be more interested in than the guitar.
Yeah.
It says it's a Kurt Cobain handwritten letter to David Geffen, a single sheet, two-sided handwritten letter by Kurt Cobain addressed to David Geffen. In the letter, Cobain expresses to his big boss Geffen his anger about a September 1992 Vanity Fair magazine article. Oh, wow. Written by Lynn Hirschberg. Yes. The article, titled Strange Love, accuses his wife, Courtney Love, of taking drugs while pregnant. Yeah, that famous Vanity Fair article. While she was pregnant with her baby. In the letter to Geffen, Cobain states that Love stopped using right after she found out about her pregnancy and was visiting a pediatrician, and he himself had been in rehab for 18 days. He ends the letter with, "I'm so extremely pissed off about this piece of trash journalism that I'll lay anything on the line for the love of my wife and daughter."
See, that's what's going to sell. The guitar's an extra.
Yeah.
But, like, that's such an important part of, like, their
history,
yeah.
Wow. You want to guess what that letter would go for? Estimated?
They're not together?
1,800.
I think they're separate. Yeah, that's lot 345.
Oh, see, I'd rather the guitar than the letter.
I'd rather the letter.
And then you got lot 347 as the guitar.
Yeah.
See, I would just get like the Kurt Cobain journals that he came out and just cut one of the pages out and put it in a frame. You know, the fucking book costs $25. Yeah, just put that in the frame. Yeah, he wrote this. It was just photocopied.
See, it's his handwriting.
Yeah.
The letter will go for between 20 and 30,000.
It'll go for more than that.
Come on.
It'll go for more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Collectors?
Yeah. He's dead. You can't get that anymore.
He can. He's still writing letters.
No, I don't think he is. I think you're lying.
There's probably all the letters around somewhere. We just got to find them.
So what would be the top dollar you would pay for that Cobain guitar?
$6 billion.
Would you pay $5,000
for what?
That Cobain guitar.
Oh yeah, something like that. Sure.
10?
Nah, I'm not that big of a collector. No.
All right.
Let's end the discussion. What were you hoping I would say? 10?
No, I didn't know. I wasn't sure.
No, I'm not.
What would you buy?
Like, Jim, would you, the Ozzy,
what would I buy? I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, that sweater, when that was auctioned off, that's
cool.
That piqued my interest, but I knew that thing was, how much did it end up going for?
$137.
Yeah, I couldn't touch that.
$137,000.
Yeah, for the sweater.
Pretty fucking pricey for a sweater.
Just a sweater. Can't you just get
an Old Navy get a sweater?
Can't you get a knockoff?
Yeah, didn't they make one? Didn't like some company make one because it was so popular?
Yeah. And then you tell people it's the Kurt Cobain sweater. Technically it is, right?
Yeah.
It's not the one, but it is.
You could lie.
Yeah.
Just put some fucking drool on it. How much? He was high.
Would you buy an old Ozzy outfit from like that he wore with Sabbath with the fringes from like the 70s for like 20 grand?
You know, that's a lot of money. It's that I don't have that kind of disposable income. If I had $20,000 to spend on a collectible and I had a place to put it, sure. But I just don't. I couldn't do it. I've spent money on little collectibles, but nothing like that.
Right.
I'm not as big. The only thing I own that's really rare is I bought for like $1,200 the original painting. It's on a piece of wood that went on to be Black Sabbath's 4-shot on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame book. Like I own, if you go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame book with Sabbath and Blondie, the photo was used, I believe, was taken from this painting and put on the, at least I hope that's what it was. It's signed on the back.
Oh, wow.
It's written in pencil.
That's pretty cool.
You can't say I believe.
Well, you can only go by faith.
That's true.
I got a few celebrity photos that are cool, and that's, I don't know. I don't know what I would spend money on as far as that stuff goes.
Yeah, let's see what else.
I love Pete Maravich. Maybe a Pete Maravich worn jersey from a game.
Jane Mansfield's hat.
That'd be
I'd like to buy that.
That would be a little.
Her hat.
That'd be a little rough.
Yeah.
Maybe a Pete Maravich jersey that he wore in a game. Something like that would be damn cool.
25 grand.
Yeah, I think I would do that. There you go. I would do something like that. I might have to reach out to his sons, see what's laying around.
Yeah, see, I'm sure he's got something.
Anyway, Beach Boys released Pet Sounds 50 years ago.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned this. Jimmy,
enough with that.
I'm not really a fan either. I mean, I like some Beach Boys songs, but I didn't see how special Pet Sounds was.
No, God only knows. Great song. They have some really great songs,
right?
And in great harmony. Fair enough. You know, their cover of was it John Sloop B or Mr. Fucking B, whatever it is. It's not even their song, but I mean, it's still a very good job with that. But I just found them to be very overrated.
When the John Cusack movie came out, they went into the whole Pet Sounds thing in the movie, obviously, and I tracked through Pet Sounds like 3 or 4 times just to see here and there over a weekend, and I was like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Smile. I was listening to some of it. It's fucking not good. I didn't like it. Now, wouldn't it be nice? Amazing. I mean, there's some great, Sloop John, some great songs.
Of course.
But stop it.
God Only Knows is one of the greatest songs ever.
Yeah.
So you're not going to go see him play it in its entirety on tour this year?
What, Smile?
No, Pet Sounds.
I would want to see that. Absolutely.
You should go then.
That I would want to see, yes.
Will he be playing Brian Wilson?
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
To celebrate the 50th anniversary.
To watch Brian Wilson do it, I might do it, sure.
Yeah, because I understand how important that album was. So, yeah, for that reason alone, I'd like to check it out. But I wasn't blown away by Pet Sounds as an album. A few of the songs I liked on it. That's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice? It's very good.
It's classic.
I never really get into them.
You never got into the Beach Boys?
The some stuff they have is really good, but I always felt they were overrated.
I felt like they were like an AM band. Like if you had AM radio on, they play that shit.
Yeah. What about Good Vibrations?
Good song.
Yeah, it's all right.
Just all right? Did you see the movie?
No.
John Cusack?
I thought I was watching it, and I was watching another movie. There was a made-for-TV Beach Boys movie, and it wasn't that bad. I'm like, yeah, it was like, this guy's not that bad, the father. But then I realized, this is not Paul Giamatti. For an hour, I watched this fucking dumb thing, and then it said, Part 2 continued. I'm like, wait a minute.
Giamatti didn't play his father, though.
Oh, who did he play?
He played his what would you call him? His psychologist / life coach.
Oh, they didn't even get into that.
Who then took complete control over Brian Wilson's life and was just a real fucking nightmare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the father was a real fucking nightmare too.
Yeah.
We played those tapes of the father in the recording studio. Come on, boys. He was not. Did you ever hear?
No, I never did.
Oh, those audio tapes are great.
So what he was in the studio with?
Yeah, man. And then he sold their music, right from underneath them for no money whatsoever. I mean, good money for the time, but not understanding how important that catalog would be. Everyone else sort of thought that they should have got a lot more money for that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they fired their father as he was their manager for a while, and the band fired him. And then the father tried to get another Beach Boys type band going to compete with his sons. He's just a nightmare.
Yeah, they weren't good.
The stories are not good. All right. In other news, before we take another break and get Adrien Brody.
Is he ready or no? Not yet.
He's having a little breakfast.
Oh, he's eating. Okay.
Anchor forces female meteorologist to cover dress.
Good.
I think this was more of a goof that just got blown out of proportion. No, he was saying that they were getting emails over her outfit when she was doing the weather, and so like off camera he handed her like a sweater.
Yep.
To put on. Did you see this video?
No, I didn't see this.
That's good. Oh, yeah.
Slut!
For shame.
So that wind advisory in place tonight and even into tomorrow. What's going on? You want me to put this on? Why? Because it's cold?
We get a lot of emails.
What?
There you go.
Really?
There you go.
Okay.
That's it.
I look like a librarian now.
That works. It's a librarian who's gone to a cocktail party.
You know what? How about this?
There you go.
I'm going to go.
There you go. Everyone's got an opinion about your
He gave her a weird answer when he handed it out, and she went, "What?" And he said, "Your cunt is showing."
I think they were just fucking around, to be honest with you.
I think so.
Because if it was a real thing, they would have done it off camera.
We're getting a lot of emails.
So as they went to commercials, they would have said, "Look, could you put this on for your next report?"
Yeah, and she wasn't as shocked when the jacket came into the camera view all of a sudden.
She appeared shocked over the weekend when morning news anchor Chris Burrows interrupted her weather report to ask her to cover up her sleeveless dress live on air because too many viewers were complaining about her shimmering black dress. I'm not buying it.
Not at all.
I think they were just. It was probably one of those morning shows, right? They were probably fucking around a little bit.
Remember that used to happen once in a while to Jill Nicolini on Channel 11. We'd be watching her in the morning for the first couple of traffic things that she did, and then all of a sudden she's wearing a jacket later because they weren't really saying it, but her boobs were like too present.
Oh boy, were they too present at times. She had a wonderful look for TV.
Yes, she did.
Where's she now?
CBS, I think.
Is she? She jumps around. I think she's doing entertainment. Is it for CBS?
I think so. Let me see.
She has a baby, I think.
She had a baby, yes, a little while ago.
Yeah, she's a nice girl.
We like Jill Nicolini. So, I mean, that doesn't look like that's a real fucking big, right?
No. There was no, her reaction would have been a lot stranger. She'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Or just ignore it or whatever. She'd look right at, oh, what's this for?
Right. But, of course, they're spinning it, making it sound like it was a real thing.
Because they knew everyone was going to look at it. It was going to get sent around.
I think they were more fucking around with her.
Yeah. She's not that good at improv. And they go, oh, I'll tie it like this. It was rehearsed.
Right. I think they were just fooling around a little bit. All right. What
was the thing about the Montreal Comedy Festival?
Oh, right.
There was some bit that they censored because the insurance company who underwrote the airing of the gala asked them to not do this and that, and they recommended. I just don't know what it was. Was it a bunch of PC? Because Canada is even worse for PC shit than we are. Like they're the shitty human rights tribunal, which like. You can sue comedians. It's the worst. I love Canada, but you guys got to stop with that.
I'm trying to find the story for you.
Yeah, it's and this Mike Ward and another comedian were going to do a sketch, I think, and I'm just paraphrasing from what I vaguely remember. And it didn't air. I guess because the insurance company had been asking them to take all these jokes out, and they didn't want to. My only question is, was it about a liability because a name was mentioned that they didn't want, or was they just the insurance company just being twats?
I don't think it was about a name. I think it was just about the content.
Yeah. Who would sue them?
I don't know.
Or are they just saying that?
That's what the insurance company's for, right?
Quebec comedian Guy Nantel wrote the sketch with Mike Ward, who's known for cutting-edge and often vulgar jokes. The insurance company hired by the event's producers repeatedly asked the comedians to alter the content. It's absurd that we're like returning to the, Duplessis era where it's the village priest who decides what's acceptable and what's not, Nantel said in an interview with the CBC. And they backed off.
Right.
They backed off. It was a delicate topic. And Ward is currently the subject of an ongoing human rights complaint for jokes he made about a well-known child singer with a condition that causes facial disfigurement. So Mike Ward's kind of a harsh comic, and he makes harsh jokes, and there's an audience for that, and there's people who will think he's disgusting, and there's people who will love it. And I guess he made them, like, I'm just reading what they just said, but he made them about a child star, and all of a sudden there's an investigation.
Oh, God.
Because he made these jokes. What the fuck are you guys doing up there? What are you doing?
Wasn't there some other case in Canada about like
a lesbian?
Yeah.
They said that they kissed once. I believe the comic that they were being loud and annoying.
The guy that
called them dykes.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know if he handled it well, but he got sued. He lost $15,000 he had to pay. I retweeted it, but then someone said that was from 2012. I thought it was more recent, so
this part's important too.
The sketch that Ward and Nantel wrote were to perform on Radio Canada's Sunday broadcast of the Quebec Comedy Awards show. It's called Le Galerie Olivier. Tackled the controversy head-on, mocking political correctness and censorship. Nantel said that after rewriting the sketch 7 times because of concerns from an insurance company, he and Ward decided to boycott the awards gala, but the two still plan on performing the sketch and uploading it to YouTube. So they're going to get some good heat for themselves in a way. Like, people will at least watch it. But the insurance company, I mean, they're like lawyers, but worse. Like, if there's a worse group of people to judge comedy, it's insurance people.
So they were worried someone was going to sue them. And so the insurance company stepped in and said, look, this is a little dangerous.
A delicate topic. I love this. Nantel said he got told by the show's producers that it was the insurance companies underwriting the gala who was unhappy with the sketch. They're probably correct, but they're also using it as a cop-out. Okay, well, the insurance company. And Radio Canada's insurance company told them they were high risk of being sued if they allowed the sketch. I know that's scary. Nobody wants to get sued. And no company will back a sketch if it's not going to be insured or whatever. He said they apparently had concerns almost every element of the sketch. They repeatedly asked us to soften the material on the Human Rights Commission, religious groups, homosexuality. They took out everything until there was nothing funny left. I certainly know what that's like. I do it to my own act. And he said he doesn't know which company is insuring. Now, Radio Canada said no insurance, no broadcast. I believe. That's, and I guess it's easy to say don't do it anyway, but with these, if you're getting sued up there for jokes, if Mike Ward is under investigation for jokes because he made fun, look, as a comic, by making fun of some child star's facial disfigurement, you're taking a big chance because a lot of people will object to that. So if you got the balls to do that, then the only penalty should be people like it or they don't. That's it. There should be no fucking penalty from a fucking insurance company or a lawsuit. If you sue a comic up there for not liking your jokes, and you can't prove like malicious, whatever you got to prove, you should literally be able to recover damages from the person who sued you. They're human rights. Tribunal.
It's disgusting.
Since when is a tribunal a good thing?
It never seems to be a good thing.
No. And I guess I take for granted the fact that we're supposed to have such free speech here, but man, up there they really.
Remember there was that story that one female comic, that one club in Canada where you're not allowed to respond to the hecklers?
Well, I think that was just a shitty job by the club. I vaguely remember that, but I think that was just the club going, they didn't want any trouble, or maybe it was for that reason. I don't know.
Right, but they said you're not allowed to say anything back to hecklers. Let them just say whatever the hell you want, and you can't respond.
It's ridiculous. Really silly.
Was that in response to the lesbian?
That I don't know. That's why I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if it was, but I just know.
It seems like they've had a couple of these type of things up there in Canada. But scary. Scary. Is that the kid?
Yeah.
Does he have progeria?
What? I don't see him real disfigurement. I mean, he looks like he's probably older than he is, but maybe his ears are a little fucked up. But
I mean, he's a bit odd looking. You can see that, right? He looks like Andy Dick a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
He's got a little Andy Dick action.
Who cares if he made fun of him? What do you think comics do?
Of course.
Sorry.
And then it's up to you if you laugh at that shit or not.
Yeah, sorry. Every comic doesn't honor your fucking personal lines of discomfort.
Wow. Nice.
It's ridiculous.
How many years have we been making fun of Rocky Dennis?
I won't do it again, ever.
He was born with head, facial, ear, and skull deformities, which included
Treasure Collins.
Deafness.
Yeah. Huh? Treasure Collins is the syndrome.
You know this?
Yes. I mean, I'm reading it, but I've heard of it before.
Oh, I never heard that.
Yeah.
Okay. At age 6 months, he was diagnosed. Wow. All right. There you have it. We should take a break, get ready for Adrien Brody, no?
Yes.
Let's do that. Everyone good with plugs? What do we got? JimNorton.com's going to have a whole bunch of new dates for Jim Norton.
I have Los Angeles, Vegas, and West Hampton, New York coming up. Those are my last 3 before I'm doing like a secondary market.
Right.
A lot of places I haven't been to ever. Oklahoma, finally. Well, people have been asking me to come to Oklahoma for literally 12 years.
You better show up.
I hope you come. Edmond, Oklahoma.
You better show up or it's going to be one and done.
You bet it will be.
You bet. And Florentine's got a couple things.
Yeah, June 2nd, Four Winds Casino in New Buffalo, Michigan, and then June 23rd to the 26th, Side Splitters in Tampa.
All right. We come back with Adrien Brody.
This is Opie Radio. The show is back.
Let's get Adrien Brody in here. He's not here? What?
Roland's going to get him right now.
Oh, okay. I thought he was outside the studio. He'll be in a few minutes. Coast Guard suspends search for Samantha Broberg. Texas mother missing after falling overboard from cruise ship.
Did she legitimately fall? How do you fucking fall off a boat?
There's video of it.
There's video of her falling, so it wasn't a rock coat.
No, her husband wasn't even on it.
Yeah.
Oh, her husband wasn't on the boat?
No.
The old days before cameras and stuff. I mean, it's our famous bit, and I believe Patrice was big on that one. The old rock coat. Where you don't get along with someone. You go on a cruise and you give them a little pusheroo, after a night of drinking. I would bet there were a lot of people that...
or a cliff.
Went that way. Or a cliff.
Yeah. Mother of 4. So did she jump? I want to see this video.
She didn't jump, but they thought she could survive for a while because the water was warm, but they have finally said, all right, that's it.
But it was like 2 a.m, I think, right? Late at night.
And how long after did they notice?
It was let's see, suspended search, mysteriously plunged from a Carnival cruise ship in the Gulf of Mexico, reported missing Friday after video showing her falling overboard from the 10th deck. Let's see, found no trace. They looked at a 4,300 square mile area of water.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
When you're on a cruise ship, everyone should wear a little bracelet that has like a little device in it where that if it hits the water or whatever, they can like ping you, and it also sends out a signal when there's got to be a way to do it.
When it hits water?
Not when it necessarily hits water, but when it hits ocean water or when it's a certain distance from the ship. Like if it's more than 30 feet from the part of the ship.
Oh, that's a good idea.
It should ping, and then they'll immediately know someone has fallen overboard.
You should go on Shark Tank with that.
But no, who'd buy it?
Well, it's a great idea, but they would probably say would be too expensive.
Maybe.
Yeah, you throw like a $15 extra into the whole package, and everybody wears one. You wear that shit when you go to Disney World and all those fucking bracelets and shit. So
yeah, and that cost them billions.
Is it really?
So, but that's a whole infrastructure that they redid the parks with.
But she wasn't pushed. The husband wasn't even on board. What does the video show? Was she like fooling around? Was she a little drunk and was... or did she want to kill herself? Does anyone know?
I want to see the video. I'll immediately know her motives and what happened.
Just by looking at the video?
Yes, I'm very good at watching a video and then reporting what I see.
Did they release the video of her actually falling over?
I haven't seen it.
Or is it just video?
No one has really seen the video.
Yeah, I don't think they probably didn't release it.
How about you show the video? I want to see her.
She was a hot tamale.
Did she fall? Did she jump? Did she slip? Did she trip? Was there an argument? Was there laughter? Was she adjusting her iPhone settings?
Just imagine you fall, and you realize right away that no one fucking saw you fall. And you watch that ship just slowly go away. Yeah. Could you imagine the fear you would feel?
It's horrible.
Can you imagine? And
because you're yelling, no one hears you.
And then it's some nice party music that you have to hear just fading away as you're just left in the ocean or the Gulf of Mexico.
She fell backwards. You're like waving. Hey.
Oh,
that poor lady. That fucking stinks. They said she fell backwards. Who knows if she was maybe she even became unconscious when she hit the water. You have to hope that she just fucking...
Adrien Brody is outside. All right, we'll get back to the story. If anyone else has any details on that, certainly give us a call. But we got Oscar winner Adrien Brody. There he is. Let's going on, sir?
How you doing?
Welcome to the show.
Hey, guys.
How are you?
How are you, buddy?
How you doing?
All right. How was breakfast?
It was good. It was typical.
What do you mean typical?
New York egg and cheese on a roll.
All right, there you go.
That work?
A perfect New York breakfast.
You're not a vegan then? We're talking veganism before.
I should be. I'm not. No.
Why should you be?
I don't know.
It just seems like the thing to do?
No, it just it makes me feel like maybe not vegan, but like a bit more moderation. I'm a bit carnivorous at times. So.
You just go. I
go.
Yeah, but you look like you're in good shape.
Yeah, I'm okay. I think it's stress and traveling.
Right. We're all friends with Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh, you are?
I was just with him this weekend. I told him I was working. Yeah,
and
he's so cool, huh?
Your episode was just amazing. I know you're here to talk about Manhattan Night, but I wanted to talk about that for a couple minutes.
Okay.
You were great as Dice.
Thank you.
That episode has been aired by now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was I good at Adrien Brody too?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, you're a great actor.
No, but that was pretty. I mean, it was pretty fun to make fun of myself simultaneously.
Yeah. You play Adrien Brody.
I play Adrien Brody, and I play Dice.
And you have a part where you have to be a man's man, so you go to Dice, and have Dice teach you to be a man's man, and then you end up just becoming Dice.
Oh my God!
How long did you hang out with him for? Because I
annihilated that guy. Poor guy. I was like, I'm going to give you a taste of your own medicine, see how it feels.
So a lot of that was real, where he was getting annoyed at you, like
I'm sure,
even in the scenes.
I don't know, because we loved each other. It was so much fun, but I think he was shocked. That's for sure.
Well, are you are you really a method actor where you have to kind of just get into the role and you absorb it and just become that
Pretty
person?
Pretty much. I mean, certain roles require more immersion than others. The beauty of comedy is you have some distance from it, and it's timing and a lot of other fun things. But if there's an intense moment that requires some understanding that I don't really possess too easily, I got to do whatever it takes to get that understanding and get that in me.
What did you do for you went for the pianist was that film and what did you do for that? Because I know that they said you prepared pretty heavy for that. How did you kind of distance yourself from everything that's good?
I think that was the most extreme thing I've done as far as my preparation for a role. But it was at a time in my life that I felt that I could do a lot of that. I was renting a place. I was living in LA. I was renting a place. I put everything into storage. I sold my car. I disconnected my cell phone. I stopped listening to hip hop and modern music. And I studied piano for 2 hours a day and practiced for an additional 2 hours a day to learn to play the ballade. And I went on a very, very restrictive diet and went down to 129 pounds.
So you really wanted to drop a lot of weight just to look at Mission?
Well, I had to. I feel like you have to commit. If you're representing something of that magnitude, you can't do it halfway. And then the distancing myself from anything to come home to, which was just what I wanted to really feel a sense of helplessness and emptiness of all the things that bring us comfort. I mean, you don't realize it, but the coffee, the sugar, the bread, everything that we have, not including alcohol, cigarettes, and whatever else people use to kind of ease the discomfort that we have in life. When you have none of that, it's shocking.
At what point do you start to go like, all right, this really does suck? Like, 'cause for a while, like, hey, I'm an actor.
Right away.
It does suck right away.
It's horrifying, yeah.
Where were you living?
Where was I living at the time? I was probably living in Hollywood. You
stayed in your...
No, I moved out. Oh,
that's
when I made the movie?
Yeah, you moved out of your...
we shot in Poland. We shot in Warsaw and outside of Berlin.
Right, so where were you? You were just living in a trailer or just...
I lived in a hotel.
Hotel?
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying I didn't have anything. My stuff was in storage. Right. So I basically ended up moving back to New York and, had to get my life together. And I would say I was pretty depressed for at least a year and had an eating disorder essentially because I was starving all the time. I couldn't really ever feel full. So even if I ate, I was eating like 2 lunches and like.
What were you eating to drop all that weight?
Nothing really. I had two boiled eggs, and then I had a small piece of fish or a small piece of chicken, and possibly a few small steamed vegetables. And that's all I ate for the 6 weeks prep of the movie. And then even when we started filming, I started limiting the water intake, so I didn't have even like the elasticity of like water, and it was really gnarly.
How long was the shoot for?
Well, we shot in reverse continuity, so it was a 6-month, 22, 24 week endeavor, and then I had to drop all the way. I was actually in really good shape. I did a film called Love the Hard Way, which was, I love the movie. It was a German filmmaker, Peter Zehr, who unfortunately passed away. It was really great. And I was just fit and healthy and confident, and then I had to kind of strip all that away. And, but, you know, I don't have any regrets, obviously, and not even from the accolades and the blessings that have come as the result of making a film of that nature and that profound, but how it affected me as a human being and how it gave me that. So we went into details about method, you know, a process, right, to get into a character. But now that understanding that I've gained, I could not have. I was 27. Most young men, you know, fortunately, and don't have those experiences. They do now. If you look in Syria and around the world, there's a lot of fucking horror going on. But, you know, most young guys in New York are relatively privileged and don't understand hunger on that level. They don't understand that. And it's just an inkling. It's just to give you the insight, and then you have to be attuned to connect to that and like open it up. But if you, it's like a gate, and if you open it, you really feel something. And if I feel something, then you should feel something, rather than me pretending like I feel something, right? And then I don't even feel like I'm living it, and the more experience, I think, the more you can tap into it. It's something you cultivate. It's like a meditation. So you get good at that process, but it has an effect, both positive and negative, on your life.
So you start eating after, like, if you're shooting in reverse, you got to be skinniest at the end. So at least you start eating and putting weight back on as the shoot goes.
Then I had to jam the weight back on because, you know, we had to, you know, there's a phase of like an in-between phase, but then we had to go right back in and, you know, to like
and put it back
look
on
as kind of healthy and kind of.
And you thought it'd be a lot easier to get back to your quote normal life than it ended up being, right?
I didn't really
realize
I
what
just
kind of
kind
damage.
of went into it. Yeah, I mean, it didn't look. It's not damage. In reality, it benefited me.
Gotcha.
It benefited me because it humbled me, and the transition that came in my life from the result of Roman making such an epic, beautiful film that touched so many people's lives, and winning an Academy Award, and being the youngest actor to win an Academy Award, and being relatively young, that transition was very extreme. And not that I was not humble, but I was conscious of things in a way that I really could not say that I was prior to that. And I haven't lost that. And I think that's guided me in a lot of ways. So I'm saying beyond all the good fortune and the, you know, opportunities that have come in a career sense and, you know, those blessings, I feel like my perspective shifted, and that's only the result of immersion in a role, not playing a character, right? So, and that's also from the guidance given to me by, you know, a Holocaust survivor who's, you know, had other hardships in his life, who's Roman, who's then, you know, kind of gave me an understanding of the tenacity that exists, that is necessary to persevere through immense hardships.
You were on Natural Born Killers too, but you had like really a small part. No, is that not true?
That's not even true. That's like,
it's in your IMDb.
Why that's still on IMDb. I know. There's a lot of I know. It's very weird. I don't even know where that came from.
I know. I'd love to
it
know.
Says cameraman or
something. Yeah.
Right?
So I figured maybe you were early in your career and you just did something.
No.
Oh, shit. So many questions. The whole interview was based around that. God damn it.
Funny.
Adrien, real quick, getting back to the Dice thing. So how long did you follow Dice around to get him down?
Well, I grew up loving Dice.
Oh, okay.
So I knew him pretty. It was tucked away somewhere, but I had it. I had an understanding.
What was more of a hardship, living the life of a Holocaust survivor or hanging with Dice for more than a month?
We love him, but it can be exhausting at times.
He's amazing. He is so fun.
It captures him very well. I toured with him for 3 years, and I love him. But that's who he is. That guy. This is what Dice does. The fucking. It was so funny when you were just pestering him with his own shit. It was like, oh, it was so satisfying.
I see guys come up to me after a show that dress like him. They try to be like him. He's like, why are you trying to be me?
Yeah.
I see what you're doing. He just gets so aggravated at that. So I could see it in the scenes when you were just getting on his. Yeah, it was great.
It really
not. Don't do that. Like
if they pick up if they bring that show back, you got to do a little more.
It was so great.
It was really a fun episode.
I had a hard time leaving that behind.
Really?
Yeah, I really did. I came back. I was in New York. I came back and I'm like, oh my God, he set me back like 10 years, like, traveling the world and losing. I'm back in Queens. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Move the car. You fuckers, what is this, a coffee break? Move. And brought it all back.
Every nice, polite thing you've learned in all these years.
That's not me anymore, but
flush down the toilet.
It's liberating, I tell you that much.
So at times
to
it's
live
just,
like Dice,
at times it's tough to let those characters go. It takes a little bit.
Yeah, it's
if you do it right.
I've been doing this for so long. It's like I've let it all. I've taken a break right now, so I've found a bit of my own path at this point in my life. We're always changing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We are.
Hopefully,
we are. I mean, some people don't change very much.
Right.
But they are changing. We get older. We have different experiences. We have disappointments in life. We have blessings that come. We have disappointments again. And that changes us and our perspective, and relationships. And so whether we're aware of it or not, we're changing. So I'm very aware of those changes because I'm also jumping in and out of different lives in these characters. And so the past year and a half or so, after I finished Manhattan Night, which we should be talking about a bit, but it's okay. But after I finished doing the film that's coming out on Friday, I haven't really done a movie, and I've been focusing on painting and doing artwork and kind of taking some time to really kind of embrace, I guess, a creative pursuit that I haven't really been focusing on because of my immersion in all these other characters, which has then distracted me in a way from myself.
Right.
What is Manhattan Night? Yeah. Manhattan Night
is fantastic. It's a noir thriller, contemporary noir. I play a investigative reporter who works at the news, New York, Daily News, and he's a good family man. He's he's intelligent, but he's kind of street smart, and he ends up, there's a femme fatale. He ends up falling into this, investigating the murder of this beautiful young woman's death of her husband, who was this Hollywood director, and he ends up getting wrapped up into her drama and making mistakes, and I think it's beautiful. I mean, I think it's probably one of the best independent scripts that I've read, and I champion this film. I'm a producer on the film. I help raise the financing on the film. My production company, Fable House, is a production company involved with making the film, and Brian D.Q. Bellis, who wrote the screenplay, wrote it off of a novel, a Colin Harrison novel that's called Manhattan Nocturne. That's just a wonderful book, and it really captures New York. It captures it's a style of movie making that doesn't really get made these days. It's a great character-driven piece. All the characters are really enthralling.
You think the writing is better in independent films? They seem to have a little bit more freedom.
Well, they have more freedom. There's great writing. I think there are, as you said, freedom. There are restrictions in trying to appeal to the masses, right? And it is a business, right? So it's the movie business. So when you're talking big movies and conglomerates running the show, they want to focus in on what sells, and that's what most people are fed when they go to the movies. If acting is an artistic pursuit, which is what I strive for it to be, then you have to seek out interesting projects, including Dice, which is comedic, it's broad, whatever, but it is an artistic endeavor. It is a chance to jump into play a character as fascinating as Dice, there's great writing in that, and there more than the writing, there's somebody that there's going to be really interesting chemistry with. You're going to play around. You're going to do these things. So that, to me, is more interesting than finding a movie that's definitely at a theater near you, that's definitely promoted everywhere. That's great, as long as you find the beautiful role within that. Anyhow, this film, I'm very proud of the work that everyone's done on it, and Yvonne Strahovski, who's my female co-star in the film, is fantastic.
I'm looking at a photo of her. She's rather lovely.
She's more lovely even than that.
She's quite a delight to look at. Easy on the eyes.
She's a great femme fatale.
Yeah,
she's awesome.
And you've injured yourself too. I always am amazed by guys like you. I would say you and Jackie Chan. There's probably different middle ground between you and him, but you've hurt yourself actually doing your own stunts, which I'm always fascinated with guys who choose to do that.
Yeah. Well, I don't choose to hurt myself. That's for sure.
No, but you don't really have to.
You do have to do certain things. I think.
What did you break your nose doing?
3 times, I think.
I think you got everything off IMDb. I think it's twice that I can keep track of.
I have twice. He said 3 times. He's always wrong, but I had twice.
I think it used to say 3 times, maybe. It sure looks like it's been broken 3 times, but I think it's only twice. It came out looking broken, and then I broke it a few more.
What were you doing that you actually broke it?
I got punched in the face on Summer of Sam, which was a Spike Lee film.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And it's actually the shot's in the movie, if you want to laugh at me. But
did you lean in too close?
No, I didn't lean in at all. It was the gentleman had to throw a right cross, and I was down kneeling, had already been beaten by the gang. And then I said, whatever you do, don't punch me in the nose, because I can't look at it. It's coming right down. And then, people get excited, and
Were you instantly mad? Did that take you out of the character?
I was instantly mad. Well, being beaten in the scene.
Right. But inside your head, you're like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
You call, someone calls cut because your face is bleeding, and
right.
So they didn't have to do another take after that.
But I had to go shoot a movie. Literally, I shot Liberty Heights. I shot a Barry Levinson film, literally back to back. So I had to take a train to Baltimore the day after wrapping and start shooting that week or whatever. And so I was just icing my nose down and
Was the guy who punched you a big actor, or was he?
He wasn't really an actor. But he's a good guy.
Did he feel horrible?
I don't know. I'm sure he was. I'm sure he didn't want to punch me in the nose. It wasn't whatever. But that stuff happens, and you got to accidents can happen. It seems like, I think there's always a kind of frenetic pace too when you're making movies, especially independent movies. Mm-hmm. So everybody's running, everybody's tired. And there's only so much that you can coordinate in a fight scene, because it's, you got to really grab each other and throw each other around. And even if you're not throwing a punch, you can still hurt somebody. I've gotten nails poked in my back that we missed on the wall, and car doors being flung open that we didn't, you're not blocking every moment and catching it in your arm. And you just got to run through that and shoot through that. But, it sure keeps it exciting.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Are you easy on the set, do you think? Like, an independent film, like, you do this movie, and, you're kind of in charge, you're the big name in it. Are you demanding on the set, or you think you're really easygoing?
Well, I was a producer on this, so I feel like, it's nice when you have a legitimate responsibility. I think actors at a certain point in their career are given a degree of say in certain elements for one reason or another, and I don't really like. I mean, I think it's okay because you've technically earned it, but as long as you have the right interests at heart, right, and that But as the producer of the film, I have an interest in ensuring that many other things are going according to plan, and this was a complicated thing because it's another part of your brain that needs to be really active. You can't fully immerse yourself and be lost in a character when you have to go take a meeting because we have 2 hours of light left or time before the crew has to go, and we have really 4 hours to shoot.
You got to worry about all that other stuff.
You've got to start making those decisions with the filmmaker and having conversations, and it's a challenge. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is an amazing accomplishment. I think it's really a great film. I'm very proud of everybody's work on that. I'm a reasonable person. I'm not. I'm very serious when I'm working, and certain roles require me to be somewhat more isolated, which can easily be reinterpreted or misinterpreted as something rather. But as long as I don't have to be in my head, I'm with everybody, and we're telling jokes and we're having dinner together, and we're having a good time. If I've got a major scene coming up, which I usually do, because that's what I look for, and something challenging, then I kind of have to conserve that space and that energy a bit, and so there's less time to really be myself and be kind of.
So you'll hang in your trailer more instead of going eating with the crew.
I don't necessarily hang in my trailer because, like, this movie, we didn't even have a trailer. We were in like church basements with an easy up, and it was really this is independent filmmaking
in New York. You guys filmed us on New York.
Yeah. So you don't. It's not like your typical. Even TV show.
Film.
TV shows have a bigger budget.
Right.
to work with, but. No, I ate with the crew, and we ate together. But I would have we'd also have to talk through, production issues as well during lunch, because that was the only moment to really talk about what's coming for the week or what we have to deal with later, or a flag in the play and how we're going to solve this, and then I kind of do that, eat quickly, and go step outside, or it was fucking raining all the time. I go with an umbrella and I go walk around and learn my lines and get in my zone until they call me, or sit in a van, with the heater on and just sit there and kind of just stay to myself,
right.
Do my thing.
So this is coming out this Friday, and you guys are also it's going to be on demand too. So it'll be in some theaters.
Yeah,
but then people can watch it.
Limited release. You can see it definitely in New York for sure, and and then on demand for everybody.
I like that, where you don't have to go to the theater.
Or if you can't go, it's good.
It's kind of the new. not that new, but it's kind of now the most common platform for most independent films. There's a limited run theatrically, and then you've got this pretty wide exposure. And interestingly, most of the films that I've done, even before this platform existed, back when it was video and DVD, and most people saw those movies then, right? You do a movie like Summer of Sam. How many people went to go see that in the theater outside of New York City? Maybe and a couple Spike Lee fans, but like in Europe and all these places, it's not going to be running for a month in a theater, and yet everybody would see all these really interesting films through DVD. So it's just much more accessible now to people, I think, which is
Oh, it's
is wonderful.
Perfect. It makes it nice and easy.
Yeah.
Now, this could just be more IMDb shit. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Were you really?
Really?
I'm going to take a chance.
Oh, no.
Trivia.
I know.
Motorcycle accident, 1992?
We're over 3 so far.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking horrible.
Go with the motorcycle accident, 1992.
Were you really the original Sonny Corleone? No, it's. Were you really considered something for the Joker and Spock in Star Trek? Are those true or no?
Yeah, I was up for him. Yeah, I don't know how far along. Yeah, I mean, I met on.
Oh, they tell you like, hey, we're kind of considering you for this, or they make you come in and read for it, or they just go, would you be interested?
No, I didn't read on either of those projects, but the Joker was very interesting. Very, very interesting.
It was something you wanted to do?
Yeah, it would have been.
I could see you as the Joker.
Heath was
phenomenal.
He was phenomenal. But that was a really wonderful.
But I could see you
transformative
as the Joker.
role.
Right?
Yeah, it was really awesome.
It kind of turned him into a sociopath, which I thought was really interesting, because the Joker's always this.
Yeah,
he's a bad guy, but he's not really bad. And
I think that's what's wonderful. I mean, Christopher Nolan really made the superhero movie the kind of movie that I would want to do, right? Because before then, they were cool, they were fun, they were the movies I'd go see them when in the 80s, and they were all like very broad, and but then he really brought in a darkness and a character driven quality, which a lot don't necessarily have. If you look at many films that are, that nature, it's very hard to find really great, compelling characters within that, and that was one of them. And I said, shit, if I had an opportunity to do that, then I could really, that's where you can shine in a big budget movie. And even if you're the nemesis or whatever of the protagonist, it's such a compelling journey. And anyway, Heath did a phenomenal job. He was really
destroyed
beautiful.
He was great.
Yeah, they're telling us we have to wrap up with you,
man.
but the film is called, Travis, am I correct? Okay, he said show you. Manhattan Night, it's in theaters on demand and digital HD this Friday. And it's also Adrien Brody on Twitter, Adrien. So don't put an A there. You'll have a different person.
He'll have another Adrien Brody.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
You're great, man.
Yeah.
You're a great actor. And,
absolutely. Come back and see us.
I'd like to. Yeah.
And definitely check out Manhattan Night in theaters, on demand, and digital HD this Friday. Adrien Brody, everyone. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
We're back. With Opie and Jim.
Nice. We got Moby coming into the studio. What's up, Moby?
Hello.
What's going on, buddy?
Can I sit here?
Sure. Yes, you can sit wherever you like, sir. How's your morning going?
Let me think. I want to have a good story.
Yeah.
Thus far, all I've done is eat oatmeal and sit in the car.
That's a good story.
I should invent something. No, that's the most boring middle-aged story. And
I got my own oatmeal right here.
That's what most of us do in the morning, though, to eat a shitty breakfast, and then
he doesn't eat shitty. He doesn't eat shitty, this Moby.
Yeah, to be a true LA cliche, I have to say it was organic oat bran.
No milk, obviously, no cream, because you're a hardcore vegan.
For
water,
28 years, just
water,
yeah,
and the oatmeal, yeah.
Look, Russell Simmons sent me down the road a little bit. He was in for Happy Vegan, and I changed up a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's tough to be like a full-fledged vegan. It's because you got to figure out the right stuff to eat that is still giving you the protein and the nourishment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not easy to find stuff to eat.
I mean, a place like New York. I mean, I grew up here.
Right?
Like New York and LA, it's easier. Like if you go to the Ukraine, or if you're in Estonia, that's when it gets pretty challenging.
So what do you do when you hit these areas?
You just complain a lot. just feel sad and hungry a lot.
So you just salads. You just hunker down and just get through it.
Like I remember one time in Poland, I went to this restaurant and I told them I was a vegan, and you could tell they were pissed off. And they didn't fully understand what it meant. And they just brought me like undercooked rice and some raw carrots put on top of it. And they're like, that's what you deserve.
For this shitty decision you made.
Yeah, so it's like punishment food.
Yeah, but I mean, if you stick with it, there's a lot of really tasty things out there that don't involve animal products.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm getting there slowly. I don't know if I'll ever go full vegan, but I've cut drastically back on a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, you have a restaurant in LA too. There was one called Pure Food and Wine, which I've talked about here in New York, which I loved and closed because of labor problems. I'm not a vegan, but
you know the story from last week?
No.
Oh, This is not why you're bringing up pure food and wine?
No, boy, did I say wine and food again? I'm such a cunt. No.
Okay, pure food and the Tourette. Pure food and wine. Fuck. Cunt.
No, I did not read anything last week. The last time I heard it was closed because of labor disputes.
Okay. It's one of the best vegan stories perhaps of all time. And I say this as a vegan. Like,
I love vegan stories.
Okay,
They're just amazing.
This is the best vegan story. So it was run by this woman named Sharma or Shmarma or something. And about a year ago, all of her employees quit because they weren't being paid. Turns out she was embezzling money. So she and her husband embezzled roughly $2 million. Her husband spent $800,000 at Foxwoods gambling. They bought tons of Rolex watches. They went to Europe on expensive vacations, and they just got caught last week. And the way they got caught, this is amazing. They were in some shitty motel in Tennessee, and she ordered a cheese pizza from Domino's and used her credit card. And so the FBI showed up at this crappy motel and arrested her for $2 million of fraud and embezzlement because she ordered a Domino's cheese pizza. So here's like the queen of the vegans brought low by the feds by ordering the worst thing in the world, a Domino's cheese.
So
I didn't realize they were on the run.
They were on the run.
They were on the run, hiding out, and she just used her credit card, and the FBI found them.
Holy!
That's why I thought you were mentioning.
No, I had no idea.
Last week. It was in the vegan world, that was very entertaining. We don't have much going on in the vegan world, so something like that's big news.
It's a bust.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the book, Porcelain. Actually, you're right about being a vegan in here, but this book is getting rave reviews. And you stopped at, 22 years old eating meat and dairy?
Let me think. I'm 50 now. I've been vegan for 28 years.
Yep.
My math is not...
22?
So around 22.
And you had no doubt in your mind at 22, I'm done with this.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I grew up loving animals, but like most of us, I loved animals and I ate animals. When I was growing up here and in Connecticut, I liked Burger King and McDonald's and Chi-Chi's, but at the same time, I loved animals. And then when I was 19, I finally realized that if I loved animals, I probably shouldn't be involved in anything that's causing them pain and suffering.
So it was a moral decision for you, not as opposed to not enjoying them.
Yeah, no, yeah. I loved. I remember my mom, who was a sort of aspiring hippie, tried to be vegetarian for a while, and I actually accused her of child abuse when she served me brown rice and tofu. I was like, you can't do this. This is wrong. We're Americans. We don't eat this way.
Well, if you loved
Russia, you commie.
If you loved it so much, that's pretty impressive that you slipped once, according to some research with some yogurt.
Bad experience with yogurt.
But besides
1992.
But besides that, you never looked back, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's either impressive or just sort of foolishly pig-headed on my part. Like when I think of it, the fact that, I decided at 19, okay, I'm going to become a vegetarian, then a vegan, and that I stuck with it. I don't know where, because I'm normally not that good at sticking with things. The only other thing I really had that much allegiance to was alcoholism. Everything else is sort of come and go, but I was a committed vegan and a committed alcoholic for a very long time.
When you were traveling, especially doing music and stuff, was it tough in these little towns to eat vegan, to find it? What did you do? Especially before you had catering and all that stuff, where you were probably in a van and staying at a shitty hotel or all that.
Well, you said earlier, you just hunkered down and just suffered.
Yeah, or you just find, I would bring a loaf of bread, some peanut butter, and let that, just eat that for a week.
Really?
Yeah. So my first ever tour, I had a keyboard case, and in my keyboard case I had my luggage, a box of soy milk, some oatmeal, some bread, and some peanut butter. So it's basically I don't need this traveling homeless vegan musician. So I'd get to the venue and I'd open up my keyboard case, set up my keyboard, and then I'd take out my food and my laundry.
But I got to get back to the alcoholism. So you're an alcoholic and a vegan. That goes back
to me. That made perfect sense.
But it would be easier to slip up, is what I'm thinking. If you're getting hammered and all of a sudden you're screw being a vegan. That burger looks pretty damn tasty right now.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the only reasons I don't look like Gollum, which I really should. Because for decades I was just this out of control alcoholic. But I'd wake up in the morning after having 15 drinks and as much cocaine as I could put in my face, and I'd wake up and have a spirulina smoothie and a vegan burrito.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't.
Sorry, Moby.
You never had a temptation to get a
get
slice of pizza at 5 in the morning.
Was the one thing
Yeah.
that I was tempted
Okay.
by. Like I would walk, especially that pizza. It's on 3rd Avenue, right by St. Mark's, just north of St. Mark's, 3rd Avenue. I don't know what it was. It was my favorite pizza place in the world before I became a vegan, and that was the only thing that ever tempted me. But I never succumbed to temptation. But my friends would torture me. Like they would come over to my house with like 2 or 3 slices of pizza and a can of Coke and just sit there and eat it in front of me. And I'd be like, you motherfucker. Like, why? Like, by the way, I guess I should have asked this earlier.
Yeah.
We're allowed to swear on this show,
Yes,
right?
yes, please do.
You dated the dominatrix.
I guess it's when you like
Said
pop
cunt,
the
yeah.
swear cherry and
Yeah.
said cunt. I was like, okay, you work here, so I assume that means it's okay.
Did you go to the dominatrix before you dated her, or did you just meet her as a woman, or were you like a client first?
Yeah, in the book, there's this chapter about my brief career as a professional dominatrix. And basically, we had met in a bar, and we started dating. And, I mean, this was New York in the 90s, where I feel like everyone was a sex worker. And we started dating. She told me she was a dominatrix, but she was a very gentle dominatrix.
Oh, sensual.
I learned from her that there's a hierarchy of dominatrices or dominatrixes, and she did the gentle stuff. Like she yelled at people but didn't really hurt them. I had this other friend who I also briefly dated who was called the dominatrix of last resort.
Wow.
Meaning she did the things that all the other dominatrixes wouldn't do.
Like?
Yeah.
Not to me, because we dated,
Yeah,
so we
fair
just
enough.
would, go out to dinner and make out. But to her clients, she would like all the stuff involving like razors and knives and a lot of, like her. All I can say is her studio had drains in it. Yeah, it was really great.
Wow.
But my friend, the dominatrix. The other thing is I've changed all the names in the book so as to not get sued.
Sure, of course.
So I don't remember anyone's names in the book, but my brief career as a dominatrix, she asked me to come over to her house and pretend to be her abusive boyfriend and yell at one of her clients who was pretending to be a wig salesman refusing to leave the house. And so my dominatrix name was Master Bobby, and she paid me $1. That way I can claim I was a professional dominatrix. I got paid $1 to do this.
Isn't it amazing how specific some fetishes are? Like, I'm a dirty guy, but I never had like the particular, you got to be a wig salesman, or I have to, I don't know what it is that people connect to that makes that one profession the sexy part of it.
I sort of envy that. Like, I envy people who have that thing. Like, a friend of mine dated a guy who was a balloon fetishist.
Yeah.
He could only have sex in the presence of balloons. So their bedroom was filled with balloons.
Cool. That doesn't come from a disgusting childhood. That's probably
that comes from a bad place.
Something with clowns.
I mean, like, but wouldn't that be interesting to just like exist in the world and have this ostensibly inanimate thing that no one else associates with sexuality, but for you? Like, just imagine if it's Purell bottles, which are pretty sexy, actually. But imagine like having that one inanimate thing that triggers a sexual reaction in you, and no one else in the world knows about it.
The only problem with it is it narrows down your partner selection so much, because if you just like, you have like ass fetish or whatever, you can find so many people. But if you're like, look, I need the Purell bottle, it's a long shoved into my, whatever you need, it's very hard to find people who will do that. So you really narrow down a lot of people.
Although perhaps you've heard of this thing called the internet.
Oh yeah. I'm big on it.
It's tough to have like a one-night stand if you got a balloon fetish. Like 2 in the morning, you pick up a chick, you're running around trying to find balloons.
So apparently, my friend Julie, luckily I have a bunch of friends named Julie, her boyfriend who had the balloon fetish, what he would do is he would fill his bedroom with balloons, and if he did have a one-night stand, he would say, "Oh, I just had like a birthday party and there are a bunch of balloons in my bedroom."
Wow.
Oh, that's smart.
Oh, so he didn't even incorporate them into sex. He just liked them around.
He liked them around.
He just knew it was a turn on to him, and he didn't have
touch them during sex. But I guess you could do that almost surreptitiously.
Oh, so he's reaching over and touching balloons, and no one even really knows.
Yeah, he's like fucking her. He's got his hands over making a balloon animal. What are you doing? What's that sound?
That is fascinating.
Is it because someone told me foot fetish has something to do with there's a
being
part
on
of
the floor?
No, but that's part. But
that's
someone
old
said it
school.
had something to do with part of your brain being pushing up against another part of your brain, like the part that recognizes feet. And they might have even said it on our show. And I'm like, maybe it's got something to do with two parts of your brain touching or something pressing up against something.
That makes a lot of sense, because I think a lot of the other fetishes, you can sort of chase them back or trace them back to childhood. You can say like a balloon fetish clearly has some childhood roots.
Yeah.
A friend of mine dated a guy with a tickle fetish.
Oh, yeah.
Also childhood roots. And maybe you're right. Maybe like the synaptic wiring, like the sexy part of the brain is associated with the foot part of the brain. And they just kind of like
Moby.
overlap a little bit.
I got 2 little kids, and this is my whole theory that I'm gonna be the one that turns them on to their fetish by accident. Play with their feet a little too much, or kiss their belly, or whatever the thing would be. All innocent crap being a father, but I'm like, one of these things could possibly lead to their fetish, right?
Yeah.
I guess I don't have kids, so I feel like utterly unqualified to have an opinion.
But I feel strongly about this.
So what's the weird stuff you do around them?
I think when you spank your kid, I think you're turning them on to being spanked when they're adults. If you do it in, I don't know, maybe one day you just did it a little differently and something clicks in their brain, like that was sort of a weird turn on for me. And then years later, that's their fetish. They want to be spanked.
But isn't that part of, I mean, again, I'm not a parent, but like part of parenthood is just sort of accepting that like the world is a messy, chaotic place. So you do your best and try not to do anything terrible and weird, and just hope that things work out.
Yeah.
Well, if that's true, my son's fetish is going to be farts. That's all I do with him, is just fart on him constantly.
Again,
it might turn out to be his thing, though.
Yeah, on Craigslist, there's got to be a category for that.
Oh, there is. There's nothing better than a search engine. You have a hard on. You find whatever you want.
Hey, I want to ask you about the alcoholism, because then you gave up drugs and booze for a while.
About 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
Isn't that your second time giving up on it?
Probably all things considered about my 20th time.
Oh, okay.
Like, I've had 2 big bouts of sobriety, but like when I was drinking and doing a lot of drugs, there was like, I would try to get sober for 10 days, for 15 days, for a month. But finally 8 years ago, October 18th, 2008, I was just done.
What was it that finally clicked in you?
It wasn't any big thing. It was just the realization that I had been crippled by hangovers for the last 10 years of my life. And nothing about it was getting better.
So you were one of those guys. Some guys can function in the morning, and you were one of those guys that was just worthless in the morning.
That's the other thing, is that there was a period in my life when hangovers were kind of charming. You know, like I'd walk down Houston and I'd be like, I'm hungover, I'm a New Yorker, this is great. But then slowly the hangovers got longer and worse, and it got to the point where I couldn't really get out of bed until 6 or 7 at night. So I'd be like, at 8 o'clock in the morning, I would start taking Xanax and Vicodin, try to sleep, and then eventually like doze, sleep, hungover until about 6 in the afternoon. And that was like, that's bad.
What would you do if you were drinking one night and you had to get on a plane for a gig the next day? I mean, that's got to be awful to fly that way.
Sometimes cancel. But yeah, you're right. I mean, like when you're hungover with no sleep in an airport, airports are terrible to begin with, but when you're like hungover and sick and exhausted, like it's just the worst thing in the world.
I don't miss that hungover sleep thing where you're kind of in and out. You're never really officially asleep. It's just a horrible, horrible feeling.
Was it ever affecting any of your shows, the booze and the drugs?
I'm sure it did, but something would happen whenever I would perform. I would get on stage and wake up. Like there's one part in the book where I had this terrible flu, and I was somewhere in Eastern Europe, and I was going to try and cancel my show, but the promoter, who also owned the record company and the venue, was very clearly organized crime. And so he showed up in the hotel, and I had like 103 fever, and he basically said, like, you're not canceling the show. Like, he made it just very clear, like, bad things would happen if you cancel the show. So I had to perform, and the moment I got on stage, like, my flu fever sort of disappeared.
The adrenaline, it makes it go away.
Adrenaline kicked in.
And then right after, though, as soon as you're like, good night, like, oh, you feel like shit again.
Yeah. Yeah, once the adrenaline wanes, and all of a sudden you feel like death.
How long did you date a prostitute for? Because that
Which
to me was
prostitute.
Oh, you dated more than one? Yeah, no.
Again, I lived in New York in the 90s. It's like,
but you had like relationships, like while they were still working. Would they take breaks while you dated, or?
I guess it falls into that realm of stuff that you like. I guess it's don't ask, don't tell.
Right.
Like I liked to work under the naive, self-serving assumption that if I was dating a sex worker, she wasn't actively doing sex work, but. You know, I wouldn't ask that much. You know, like if, you know, like you're dating a stripper and you just hope that maybe she's just giving a few lap dances and nothing else. But like, you wouldn't ask really.
Yeah.
It's their job.
Yeah, that's how they look at it. I don't know if I could. I mean, I've seen a lot of products. I don't know if I could date. I might get too jealous if I was actively dating.
Like, was there ever a time where she didn't want to have sex, and you're like, oh man, she probably just banged a guy like an hour ago?
That I do remember dating one woman where we were naked together, and she just started crying because she had been with someone professionally right beforehand, and she just felt so bad about herself. And I was sympathetic, a little frustrated, but sympathetic. Yeah,
you could have waited till after.
Right,
before you have your breakdown, right? Did you want to rescue them? There's always that they call the Captain Save-A-Hole. Like that, it's an instinct when you meet a girl on porn or whatever. You want to pull her out and you want to rescue her. And
well, the book Catcher in the Rye?
Sure.
So Holden Caulfield, the main character, he keeps wanting to save people. So my friends always said that I had this Holden Caulfield complex where, like, if I met a woman who wasn't damaged and who wasn't either a drug addict or a sex worker, I probably wouldn't be interested. But if I met someone who was, like, a damaged, drug-addicted sex worker, I would just fall in love.
What do you think that is? I've done the same thing. I don't even know exactly what that is.
Well, to analyze myself a little bit, because we don't know each other that well. I mean, I feel like we've grown close over these last 10 minutes.
We sure have, yeah. Exactly. We've probably come to a lot of the same things.
We can talk about hair care.
That girl you dated might have been with Jim an hour before you.
Absolutely. Hit a weak chin and
man. It's a good possibility.
There's a very good chance you guys might have.
Especially when she was crying afterwards.
Yeah, so why do you think you do that?
I think it's because I don't see that I have much worth. And so if I date someone and I can help save them, it almost makes me feel like I have some more legitimacy in the dating.
Ah, cool.
Like me just showing up as myself, I don't feel like I have much to offer. But if I can offer protection and help, maybe that's my utility in the relationship.
Do you also feel like it gets you like a better looking person or like, wow, this girl would never date me, but if I save her, then I'll get this girl that's probably out of my league, if all things being equal?
Yeah, I think that's definitely been the case. Like, I'm sure that any man listener, most men listening have had that experience of like, you're dating someone, you care about them, and you almost want to pull them aside and say, like, don't you think you could do better?
Yeah.
Like, take a look at me. Like, I'm a bald, middle-aged guy. Like, you could probably do better than this,
But they all tell stories about guys they date who, this guy was in great shape, or this guy was this, and the guy's an asshole. And after a while, they just want to be treated nicely, and they don't, So there is something to be said for just treating somebody well.
Yeah, but you're Moby, damn it. You're Moby.
Yeah, I should have that on a T-shirt. It makes me
Moby.
think of, like,
I'm Moby, damn
it. Picture of, like, a nice bald Gumby with glasses.
The book is called Porcelain, excuse me, Porcelain, Porcelain, and it's getting great reviews because of your honesty and your openness. What do you think of the music business these days, in general?
There's a music business?
Right.
It
has changed drastically.
I have honestly no idea. All I know is I mean, as naive as this sounds, like, I get to listen to music online. That makes me, like, I can listen to Led Zeppelin's greatest hits. That makes me pretty happy. The world of pop music, broadly speaking, means nothing to me. Like, I don't understand it. Maybe if I was 13 years old, it would make sense to me. But, like, and I'm going to sound like a real old guy, but, like, the music that we all grew up with, let's say it was John Lennon or Led Zeppelin or Neil Young or The Clash or whomever. It was like people who wrote their own songs, picked out their own clothes, and had such integrity. And now I feel like music, for most of the pop stars, it's just an extension of their brand. Like, they're trying to launch a clothing line, so their advisor says, you should probably make a record. And I mean, occasionally nice songs come out of it, but the fact that it's so disingenuous, no one writes their own songs. No one picks out their own clothes. Like, every decision is just made to sort of, like, enhance their brand appeal and their market value. And I like to work under the assumption that Neil Young and John Lennon never thought about those things.
No. Is there anything out there that you like? Anything new? What about, like, a Lady Gaga?
I remember her being a club promoter, there was this place called the Slipper Room on Stanton, Rivington or Stanton. And I remember her trying to get people to go to her shows at the Slipper Room. This was like, I don't know, 15 years ago, like walking by and she'd be out there like handing out flyers, like, come to my show, come to my show. So, I mean, kudos to her that she had success. Like a lot of the people who are making these records are probably like nice, ambitious people, but I'd almost just feel bad for our culture that the music itself is so mercenary. And just the lack of integrity associated with it. So.
How do you make money now? Because it's like most people make it touring, and you typically, I've heard you don't love touring, so it's got to be difficult because like you said, everybody steals it on Spotify or Pandora. So how do you make up for that if you don't like touring?
Well, I do film work, and so we were talking about veganism earlier, and I got really lucky. So techno and veganism. And forgive me if this is a distasteful thing to say, but in the early 90s, I was using Apple computers a lot, and I made a little bit of money, and I thought, I should start investing. Why don't I invest in Apple computers? And then the first ever tour I did, we got to Austin, Texas, and I was really hungry because I hadn't eaten on the bus. And I walked into the hotel, and I asked someone, I said, is there a health food store nearby? And they said, yeah, there's this health food store called Whole Foods around the corner. And so I walked into Whole Foods, and it was this great health food store, and I called my investment guy and said, there's this company called Whole Foods. Is it publicly traded? And he said, yeah, they just listed like a week ago. So basically, those two things is why I get to not worry too much about.
Jesus, you're like fucking Forrest Gump.
I know.
That's amazing.
And I bought my first shrimp boat.
Apple and Whole Foods. You could not have picked two better companies.
All right, but give us one that you invested in that was a shit box.
Oh, you made a few bad ones?
Oh, boy.
Okay, good. We need to hear that now.
SideQuest. Do you remember SideQuest?
Wait, why are they not good?
Removable hard drives. I don't even think it exists anymore.
Oh, okay.
There were a couple, like this one company in Stamford, Connecticut that made noise-canceling technology.
Yeah.
It's the same noise-canceling technology in all the noise-canceling headphones, but they went out of business, sold the patents, and so anyone who owned the company got nothing, but the patents went on to generate billions and billions of dollars.
But the company itself.
So I invested in that company, but
we couldn't let him off the hook. We couldn't leave you just telling the world that you invested in Apple and Whole Foods early.
You were in Blockbuster?
Big Blockbuster investor.
But was that good or bad? I mean, because for a while they made a tremendous amount of money.
It was good, and then it was bad, like most of my relationships.
Oh, yeah. At least you have the good period. I admire that.
Hey, why don't you like touring? Because don't you like seeing the world? Or you're done with it? You've seen it? You've been there?
Yeah, I mean, I started touring 26 years ago. And it just got, and I don't want to complain, because like the moment a public figure or even a quasi-public figure complains about how hard it is being a public figure, you just want to like hit them. Because like I've done shitty jobs. Like I was a dishwasher at the restaurant in Macy's in the Stamford Town Center. That's a bad job.
Yeah.
If someone complains about being like a toll booth attendant, I will listen to them and commiserate. When a musician complains, you just want to say, stop.
Right.
But having said that, I'm going to complain for a second. The repetitive nature of touring, where you're like, seeing the world is great, but like you go to Stuttgart, Germany, and you're staying in the same hotel that you've stayed in 5 times. It's so repetitive. And you're in the airport and you look at yourself and you realize, I've become one of those middle-aged musicians who's still pretending he's relevant. Like you're doing and I'm sure I assume you guys have had this experience where like the middle-aged guy comes in here to try to convince you that their new project is just as relevant as the thing that made them famous 20 years ago. In the back of your mind, you're like, well, that's a nice fairy tale to tell yourself.
Right.
But I don't know. You know what? I don't mind. Even if it's not as culturally relevant. Like, even if it's like, okay, it's not going to blow the doors off because the person I'm sitting next to blew the doors off, so you can't do it twice. It's still cool to see people putting out new stuff and creating, and it's like your mind is still your mind, and it's like all these guys that may
it's
have
important
been,
to that person.
Yes.
In most cases.
And I think it's probably better than you might think it would be.
Yeah. And I think that some people, I guess it's where the focus is. I think of someone like Leonard Cohen, or Neil Young, who like time has passed, or Bruce Springsteen, like they love what they're doing and they're still super interesting as people and as artists. It's the musician who isn't letting go, where they're like still doing the same thing year after year, but just getting older and less relevant. And I really hope that I don't become that.
Right. You probably won't.
I've already got the older, less relevant part down. I just hope that. Yeah.
No, because you're afraid of it. If you're worried about that, your creative process will probably keep you away from repeating the same stuff you've done. And no, it probably won't happen because you are concerned about it.
I think, just to tag what you're saying, I think when you have awareness of that, that's different too. When you're explaining, describing a lot of people that don't have the actual awareness that that's happening.
And it's not my place to judge. Like, again, I don't have kids. I don't have ex-wives. So if I look at a musician who's like doing the same tour every 2 years or putting out the same record every 2 years, you know know what? They might have kids who have expensive school bills or sick parents or ex-wives. Like, far be it for me to judge. I just feel like if I don't have to be doing the same thing every 2 years, but with diminishing results, because you have this experience, like 16 years ago, you're headlining the festival. And 2 years later, you're second on the bill. And 4 years later, you're like seventh on the bill. And you're like, it's just really depressing. So, like, why subject yourself to that if you don't have to?
I was reading up on you a little bit, and you enjoy making music still, obviously.
Yeah, and it drives my manager crazy.
Why?
Because I love making records, and no one buys records. And I hate touring, and that's the only way musicians make money. So my manager, he's like, really? He's German. And our rapport is based on him insulting me.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, why are you such an idiot? Go on tour, make some money. Why are you sitting, don't make records. You're not relevant anymore.
But you have
pretty much.
But you have the financial freedom and you love making music. So does it matter to you if people actually hear your stuff?
It's like a nice bonus when it happens. You know, like if I put out a record and someone listens to it, that's great. If they don't,
you don't care.
That's perfectly fine because I don't listen to other people's new records. Why? The same way, like, I don't buy music. Why would I expect other people to, like, why would I go on, like, I'm going to Sirius XM or Pandora or Spotify. Why would I not pay for music and then expect people to buy my music?
Right.
It would be so hypocritical. So, like, if someone does buy my music or listen to it, that's great, but I certainly don't expect
But every once in a while, do you have a nugget in there where you're like, oh, this one's just too good. I want to push this one at least.
Yeah, I mean, I make an effort. And sometimes also the weird, chaotic, democratic, digital world in which we live, you put stuff out there, and sometimes it connects in the weirdest ways. I had a song a couple of years ago that became a #1 single in South America because it got featured on a soap opera. And I had no idea. But then all of a sudden, like, my manager started getting all these requests, like, can you come to South America? I was like, why? What's going on? Like, really? What's going on? It's just because it got licensed to a soap opera.
Did you go?
I didn't go, no, because I don't like really leaving home that much.
Oh, okay. But that's cool to be financially in a great place and just know that you can just create. And if it gets out on YouTube, there's so many ways to get it out. People will hear it.
And if they hear it, that's fine. If they don't, that's perfectly fine.
Do you do music for movies? Any scores and stuff like that? Do you do that?
Sometimes, as long as, like I'll license a lot of songs to different movies. But actually writing a score, again, I don't want to complain, but it's so much more annoying being a film composer than I imagined it would have been. Because, like, I'm used to just being this only child who lives alone and works alone. I'm not used to, like, interacting with other people that much.
Right.
And then when you're being a film composer, you deal with the producers, the directors, the music supervisors, all these people, and you actually have to listen to them. And so I avoid it as much as I can.
Right.
They're saying you got to go back. I got to ask you really fast about praying after sex. That's in the book.
Oh, yeah.
That is interesting. So you'd have sex with your girlfriend at the time was very religious, and so were you, or you are, but you look at it a little differently these days. But after sex, you guys would actually pray for forgiveness.
Yes. So I know radio's not a visual medium, but I'll just describe what I'm looking at. You're looking at me like open-mouthed with disbelief.
Right. What's the blow you?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're sort of like a sex doll right now.
Well, because, I mean, you dated, dominatrix, and you have a very unusual story there, Moby.
So I had this period when I was a very serious Christian, like late 80s, early 90s, and at the time I had a very serious Christian girlfriend. And what was also funny is I was in the rave scene, in the club scene, DJing sex parties, but then teaching Bible study and trying not to have sex with my Christian girlfriend. But occasionally, we were 22 years old, we would lapse and have sex and then immediately pray for forgiveness afterwards. And then I would go DJ at a sex party. Yeah, it was
very interesting time.
And then 5 years. So the book is 89 to 99.
Yeah.
It's like the first 5 years, I was this very serious Christian, and then the last 5 years in the book, I was just a crazy alcoholic dater of strippers, etc.
That's great. You always give me Master Bobby to me. I hope you know that.
Good old Master Bobby. And you already started the next book, which will be what the year's 99 to 2009-ish, somewhere around there.
Everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
It's just like, and I have to figure out how to write that book because it's very repetitive. It's just like sex, drugs, rock and roll, panic attacks, mental illness, etc.
Believe me, that doesn't get old fast at all.
No.
That's something that's like can be interesting on a loop because there's so many different crazy things that will happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories.
Yeah, that's great. So the book is called Porcelain, and a great Twitter handle, the little idiot on Twitter, and Moby.com.
There's a bunch of book signings.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're doing one.
Oh, really?
Today is
tomorrow.
Monday,
Barnes and Noble in Union Square, 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday, you're in Washington D.C. Thursday, Philly. Friday, Boston, Stanford, Minneapolis, Chicago coming up. Go to Moby.com. I'm sure all the dates are on there. Yeah. And check out, he's doing every major city you can think of. Toronto, Austin, San Francisco, Portland, Seattle. Everywhere you are, he will be signing books.
Most importantly, the book has pictures in it.
Yeah, a lot of good pictures.
I like pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just got it on Friday because they told us last minute that we were having it.
How much did you pay Apple stock? Where did you get it at?
I don't even know. I mean, it was 1991.
Oh, that's a good deal.
How many shares about?
I don't even know.
He does. He just doesn't want to say.
Yeah.
This guy's
Whole Foods
smart.
actually did better for me.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I hate ending on that note, though. I just feel like...
it's good.
It's all good. Moby,
you made a good move.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Moby. The new book, Porcelain. Go out and get it.
It was nice talking with you guys.
Yeah, come back and see us, please. You guys good?
Yeah, I'll be in Los Angeles and Vegas coming up, and West Hampton, New York the week after, and I have a bunch of dates being announced on Wednesday for the second half of the tour in a lot of smaller markets.
JimNorton.com. Florentine,
this Friday, I'm opening for Dice at the Wellmont Theater in Montclair, New Jersey. I don't know if it's sold out or not. And Saturday, Rock on the Range, Columbus, Ohio. Me, Don Jameson, Eddie Drunk are doing that metal show. And then Laugh Boston in Boston, Memorial Day weekend.
Beautiful. See you guys tomorrow.